James Harden to the Los Angeles Clippers. We're not going to waste nobody's time. We're going to get directly into it. Fellas, how are we feeling about this crazy-ass trade that just happened late last night?
Why the Sixers trying to hand the Clippers the championship? That's what I want to
know. Well, my question, Big Ox, is
they're just trying to give it to him.
Well, what's to say that they're gonna win it? So in the last 4 years, what have you seen, Big Ox, from Paul George, from Kawhi Leonard, and from James Harden to suggest Russell Westbrook also to suggest that with these four dudes together, they can win it? What have you seen from them?
If James Harden brings 20 and 10 to the Clippers,
okay,
you can just go ahead and pencil that in.
So just pencil it in. Okay.
I mean, they ain't give up nobody. No,
right.
They gave up Nicholas Batum's about 35.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Morris, everybody up. Marcus Morris, everybody up here be like, oh, he's done, he's washed. Robert Covington is solid. But my thing is they gave up. They brought PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is a step ahead of Nicholas Batum and Marcus Morris right now. Just from a defensive standpoint, toughness standpoint. I like what the Clippers got going on right now. But like you said though, you brought up Kawhi, you brought up PG. All them brothers got to stay healthy. But that goes for every team. So I don't want to get into that if they're healthy talk. I know y'all hate that talk, but come on, though, Chet-Town.
and not just if they're healthy. We're not just talking about health here. We're not just talking about health here neither.
That's all it takes.
Actually, it doesn't, because we've seen these guys underperform in the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, did they not go to pieces after being up 3-1, both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? I mean, we did see them do that. And now here we are. We're in a space where now you get James Harden, who also went to pieces last year in the playoffs. Like I told you, I think he had a stretch against Boston where he went 0 for 12 on the long ball, 1 for 17. Shooting the long ball in 3 of the 6 games, three of the 7 games that they played. So at age
that sounds like him. That sounds like him.
I just want to make sure that
he went to sleep. He went to sleep in a couple of fourth quarters too. But let's not act like he didn't carry a couple times with them 40 balls.
Right, he did.
Maybe if Joel wasn't getting clamped on the block by Marcus Morris.
And that definitely matters.
Not Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart. I'm sorry.
Marcus Smart. Don't leave Marcus Smart out. Then that definitely matters, Big Ox. 100%. That definitely matters. And if you got a guy who can do that, then you got another guy the next game who can quote unquote carry. Then maybe you could get it done. However, what we've seen from the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George throughout the course of their career, these 4 years there, underperform and not stay healthy. So now you bringing in another dude who is underperformed in the playoffs and who is coming to camp out of shape in a contract year. This year, he's actually in shape. 100% he is. But with that being said, you still have to do your job. And for the most part,
he has underperformed, Chet-Town?
It was up 3-1 in a series against the Dallas Mavericks, and he did not do his job. Yeah, he did not do his job. As good as they were, he didn't do his job. So now, again, we're talking about a guy in James Harden who we've seen him underperform in the playoffs. We've seen him go to pieces, and now we're gonna add him to this mix. Now, the thing that's the most important about this, Ox, we got to remember, this star power looks great, right? This star power looks great. Ox, you designed the house. The house looks great. Yo, who getting the piano in here? Who's putting the bed in here? Who's dragging the refrigerator up the stairs? Because Kawhi is gonna because these who's doing the other stuff? Who's Udonis Haslem? Who's AC Green? Right? Who's Horace Grant? Who's these guys? Where are these guys on a consistent basis? They got
dirty work guys, Chilton. Zubac, dirty work. PJ, dirty work. Russ, dirty work. They got dirty work all through Kawhi. They got dirty work all through the Clippers organization right now, Chilton. Y'all don't give me up here capping for James Harden. Please don't let me.
No, we're not capping for anybody. What we're doing, please
don't make me do it, because I will. I'm fully prepared to go 100% in right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Big Ops. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm asking questions that need to be answered about these guys. Certainly. That's what I'm doing. I am not capping for anybody. No, I'm not. I'm not saying you will. I'm saying I'm ready to.
but I don't think I have to, because I do think when you reach back in the archives for that performance you brought up with Kawhi Leonard, you got to reach back a few seasons. We can't reach back for too much with Kawhi like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to do that. Now we can do this all day with James Harden. That's true, but James Harden did show up in quite a few games this past playoffs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to discredit that. I'm just saying it's a lot of talent. It's a whole lot of talent, and I like Zubac to anchor that paint. I like PJ Tucker to come in and rough up KD in the playoffs. I'm not sure if I'm ready to jump off that Suns yet. I still want to say I got the Suns.
Sound like it, big Ox. You sound like it, though.
I mean, that just brought that James Harden just brought a whole nother level of firepower to the Clippers. I mean, I wouldn't be wrong to
Can we talk about the riffraff he brought too?
Right, but I wouldn't be wrong.
I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm gonna let Mars go. I'm gonna let Chill go before I really start hating. Because y'all know how I feel about
I wouldn't be wrong to change.
I'm talking about this could be the Showtime Lakers.
Because now we got new information.
Yeah,
so we got new information. So I'm not upset with changing my prediction. I'm gonna let everybody else talk, and
what's the new information?
What's the new information? They got PJ Tucker and James Harden for a bag of Skittles.
All right.
You can discredit it if you want.
Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna break it down into decimals. Go ahead, Mars. Chill. Y'all got the floor.
I think they wanted to trade if it was Marcus Morris and Robert Covington and whoever else for PJ Tucker. So
just take James Harden now. Like don't even add James Harden. Just if you trade Marcus Morris for Robert Covington, then the trade is won by the Clippers.
Yeah, just getting Marcus Morris off the team, I think, was them winning the trade. So them adding James Harden, who will now be probably their primary ball handler. You don't really need to ask him to score. In Philly, he was asked to be the second scoring option. Offensively, I don't see the downside, to be honest. I think what you have now is you have a level of poise you don't have with Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook can do things that James Harden can't do from an athletic standpoint that makes them both beneficial to each other. This is like the third team they've been on together as well. So there's a level of familiarity between each other. So I think that backcourt can work surprisingly well. Then defensively, I think everyone else kind of masks what James Harden doesn't do, whether that be Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, PJ Tucker. Like they all do things that just make it easier for James Harden on defense. But when it comes to like being championship favorites or whatever, they still don't have an answer for Denver in the West. Denver's been the team that they always just can't seem to get over the top with. And that's because, I mean, Jokic is a mismatch. And PJ Tucker, as good as he is, I don't think he's going to solve that problem. Even though he did defend Jokic well last year in that game Philly played Denver when they won that game. But I think just overall, they haven't addressed that weakness. But I do think against every other team in the West, I think they'd probably go into that series as favorites, which I think is not something they would have done before. So I wouldn't be surprised if now they are the favorites out West, or at least the second favorites out West. So definitely a good trade for them. But I think it's an underrated trade for Philly in terms of the salary they freed up. They just waived Danny Green as well. So they're definitely building up for free agency in the summer. I don't know who's available in free agency. I haven't bothered to check. But that definitely seems to be what they're gearing up towards. I don't know if they can keep Embiid all the way through this season. Lord knows. He might ask out at some point because I wouldn't want to play on this team if I was Joel Embiid. But I assume that's probably what they're gearing up towards. And they're probably trying to tell Embiid that he kind of has to, quote unquote, give up on this season and be fully invested for the next one. But after 3 games, I'm not sure how invested he really would be. But I think, in theory, it's a good trade for both teams. So
that's a crazy ask, Mars.
I think it's ridiculous, but that seems to be.
I'm talking about big gorilla nuts to go in there and say, Joel, let's get back to the process, buddy.
At this point, right? At this point,
no fucking way.
I'm getting up and leaving. It's interesting, Mars. You brought up the things that the Clippers can do to mask. I think you brought up a real interesting point about the trade, though. I do think that there are no losers here in terms of what Philadelphia is trying to do. I'm just thinking about you bringing up the things that they can do to mask James Harden. I mean, we've all been on record, you included, that Kawhi Leonard is more of a reputation defender today. Paul George is more of a reputation defender today. These guys aren't the defenders that they used to be. And we all know who James Harden is as a defender. And the idea is to protect James Harden. Well, if you got guys who are running on reputation, it's pretty difficult to protect the guy that can't defend, as opposed to a guy who used to be able to defend. That's number one. Number two, a guy in Russell Westbrook who is now a primary ball handler. Him and James Harden, this is the third time that they've been together, but they've been together in different times in their career. Well, they first got together when they were younger. And then they get together later on when these guys are both not franchise players. Yeah, I will say that, franchise players and stars in that own aspect, which would explain why Russ didn't come back to Houston, because they were looking at each other differently at that point. I don't think Russ thought that what was going on in Houston worked for him. I don't think it was necessarily James Harden, but I don't think that worked for him. So now we're in a position where they get Russ, who is now their primary ball handler. And now you got 4 primary ball handlers, Mars. You don't have one. So now we got to figure out how we're going to distribute this duty. So who's going to do the other stuff? Okay, who's going to score all the buckets? Are we just going to figure that out as we move forward? Or are we going to just have one guy be the primary ball handler? We're going to have one guy play off the basketball. We're going to have one guy slash, and we're going to have one guy defending. Because Big Ox, you already brought up the dirty work guys, right? You brought up PJ. You brought up, you brought up PJ Tucker. I dig Norman Powell, and the fact that they could still keep him, I think that's great. Yeah,
about Norman.
The fact that they still got Norman Powell, I think that's great coming off the bench. I'm just thinking about these 4 guys in terms of their roles. Do we just have ballers on the floor? Do we just have, or are we going to distribute roles? How is this thing going to work?
I guess Kawhi and Paul George they don't have to play make as much. They'll be asked to be scorers, where guys like James Harden and Russell Westbrook will set them up for easier opportunities. And then both of them are capable of passing if a defense collapses. And then you have James Harden who can shoot. Russell Westbrook's a good cut. I don't know how the Zubac and Russell Westbrook dynamic will work in terms of spacing, but I'm sure you could figure it out. Just probably don't want to put them both on the same side of the floor. That's probably definitely a recipe for disaster. But defensively, even though I think Kawhi and Paul George both live on reputation, I still think they're both good. They're both good defenders. I don't think Kawhi is the best defender in the league anymore, or Paul George is all defensive caliber, but I think they're still both good. And if you have 2 very good wing defenders, Russell Westbrook, who, even if he's not great, he gives effort. And I mean, that's one thing you can't take away. So his consistency on that might be a bit shaky, but he's still a positive asset on that side of the ball. I think you can mask what James Harden doesn't do. And I think James Harden being a terrible defender is also a reputation. I don't think he's terrible. I think he's okay, which I'm not saying okay is good or anything. I'm saying I don't think he's a negative on that side of the ball. So I think overall the Clippers defense, which has started the season pretty well, will probably maintain and still be pretty good, especially with the addition of PJ Tucker, who can take that assignment of a team's toughest matchup if need be. And the Clippers, Tyronn Lue loves to go small, so PJ Tucker might run him at the 5 in some games where they're playing the Golden State Warriors or something, like just matchup dependent. I don't want to see PJ Tucker at the 5 against Denver, but in certain situations he might actually run him at the 5 and stuff. So I think that adds a level of versatility that they didn't have before. So I fail to see the downsides of this trade. If worst comes to worst, James Harden contract expires after this year, you just don't bring him back. Like I don't see any downsides to what the Clippers have done here.
Well, it's obvious, Mars, that they're going all in, because if you think about it, Big Ox, so at the end of this season, Leonard comes off the books, Paul George comes off the books, James Harden comes off the books, Russell Westbrook and Zubac, they still on the books for 2 years. Let's see, Terrence Mann just signed a 5-year deal, so he on the books until 26. So of those 4 guys, Harden, Westbrook, Leonard, Paul George, 2 of them come off the books after this year. And Zubac is on the books for 2 more years. So who are we? And they open up that new arena next season too. So who are we trotting out next season? So they obviously are going all in. I think they're going all in this. I think they're going all in this year with these guys.
I think this was a clear sign of that. Going to get James Harden, that's a clear sign of we're trying to get it right now. And to answer the question though about who's going to do what, Chilton, I think it just comes down to simple as that. Ty Lue, coach got to coach.
I don't think it was ever a question of the Clippers being all in. Clippers have been all in for the last since they got Kawhi and Paul George. I think this is just them maximizing their roster, maximizing their window. But they've been all in. I think like once James Harden came on the board, like you've seen that they were the first team that jumped at him. So I think they would have made this move if they had the ability to get like, let's say Bradley Beal last year, for instance. Let's say he was going for the cheap and they were able to get him. They would have did that. I think they've been all in. It was just, James Harden was available, and obviously this is one of his destinations where he wanted to be. But Ticket, you wanna chime in?
Yeah. What up, Playboy? What's going on, man? It goes back to what I was saying yesterday, man. The guys like James Harden, these guys, did they reach their peak in their limits in their career? Did they push themselves to be the best that they can be? James Harden routinely has not. He has not pushed himself to be great as he could be. He has shown flashes and moments where he could do it, but you have to be consistent in that when you want to achieve things and be great. James Harden has shown consistency of going to strip clubs. He have shown consistency of being unprofessional. He have shown consistency of quitting on teams. He have shown consistency of throwing coaches, throwing teammates, throwing organizations under the bus. So he has shown consistency of doing all the wrong things, which will ruin the franchise. And I don't know why the LA Clippers, a franchise who is right now in peace and harmony, a franchise who out of all 3 games have had all 3 of their stars playing in all the games to start the season. Meanwhile, you've had other teams like the Suns and these guys that can't even get their big 3 on the court yet and will continue to miss games. I don't know why they would do that. Risk wrecking your locker room by bringing James Harden in, which is the reason why the Houston Rockets didn't want him, because of his mentality and his approach to the game, him still feeling like he can lead the league in scoring, which he won't be able to do with the LA Clippers. His shots won't be the same with the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard will be the number 1 option. Paul George will be the number 2 option. James Harden will have to be the number 3 option. And then what is your whole purpose of leaving Philly? Because you wanted to be the number 1 option. So now you're leaving from the number 1 option to going to be the number 3 option, but you're supposed to be happy, but you wanted to stay in Philly, you wanted to get your money in Philly, and you were mad and wanted Doc Rivers to be fired because you wanted a bigger role in the offense. So now you come to LA, and what are you going to do? So all that's going to happen is Tyronn Lue and the rest of these guys, when they see he don't play defense, because you know how Tyronn Lue good, he's not going to play with you, going to yank you out the game and sit you down. And once that happens a couple of times, James Harden's attitude and mentality is going to spoil the team. Once you put one rotten apple in a bunch, it's going to spoil that entire bunch. That's why they say one rotten apple can spoil the bunch. So once they're losing on a Tuesday night, you understand what I'm saying, in December, and James Harden is in a strip club somewhere out in LA, partying, dancing, doing whatever, not caring about whatever the hell else they got going on. I don't want to hear none of the stripper fans complaining, saying, why do we do this, that, and the third? No. You guys, and then last thing I want to say too, this is an indictment on Tyronn Lue. If I was Doc Rivers, I'd never trust Tyronn Lue ever again. You were my assistant coach. You snaked me and got the head coaching job behind my back. You seen James Harden got me fired, quit on me, ran me out. I'm supposed to be your guy because I helped you get in the game. You come take him and bring him on your team after he got me fired with this other team? We're not cool no more, dog. Because I'm going to tell you something. Somebody disrespects me like in a way, or somebody disrespects you in a way like that, I'm not finna bring them over here and give them a life jacket to save them. It's not going to happen. So the LA Clippers, I picked them to go to the finals. I am rejecting that pick now. I feel like James Harden is a cancer and he's hurting to the team. And now, what do you do to Russ, who has been a model citizen? Russell Westbrook, as this season is going, currently is shooting 60% from the field, 49% from the three-point line, and has not been a problem in the first 3 games of this season. It's not crying about shots. It's not crying about role. It's fitting in and doing his job. The Clippers are 2-1. 60% from the field, not taking bad shots, not taking wild, erratic shots, doing all this foolishness. 49 from the 3. And now we're going to bring in James Harden and do what? Ask Russell Westbrook now, hey, Russ, we're going to need you to take another step back and go to the bench. We already asked you, to take less money to come back. Now we're going, nah, man. Nah, it's not. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. And you think James Harden's going to go over there and push them over the top? What happens if Kawhi gets hurt and you got to rely on James Harden? You trust James Harden to step up from what you've seen not only last year, not only the year before last, not only the year before that, and 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 the year before that. We expect him to do something new at 34 years old? Stop playing, Ron. It's easy work, man.
So if we're talking about James Harden now in this offense, wouldn't his, like, you would have thought that with him playing with Embiid, you know, he was getting better looks. But now he's playing with 3 other guys that are going to open up the offense for him even more. So shouldn't he advance their offense too? The thing I'm worried about with him is you got 3 other ball handlers. James Harden needs the basketball in his hands. That's what I'm thinking about with this group more than anything. The fact that he is the primary ball handler everywhere he's been. Russ has also been the primary ball handler everywhere he's been. When he got to the Lakers, it didn't work because they took the ball out of Russ' hand. Russ doesn't play off the ball. James Harden can't play off the ball. Now you got a guy in Kawhi Leonard who can play off the ball sometimes. Paul George, who also can play off the ball sometimes. But a lot of times these guys are ball dominant. So you got 4 ball dominant guys. 4 ball dominant guys with James Harden being the most ball dominant.
Yeah, and but shit, those guys were ball dominant without a point guard. You know what I mean? Like now they got a point guard. So they don't what they need the ball for. Y'all set some down picks. Come get the ball. Like James got it. He can distribute the ball to them.
Bob, it sounds that easy, but they got 3 dudes who probably do some of the most dribbling in the NBA. I would say these 3 dudes are, over the last 4 years, have been top 10 in dribbles per possession. If we're talking about Paul George, Paul George has had point guards. But if we're talking about Paul George,
the last 3 years, who they have running point over there for the Clippers?
If we're talking about Paul George, and Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, it's just their nature. It's their game. They have to dribble the ball. They have to dribble to score. They have to dribble to do anything. So it's like, how do you run an offense with that? Where you got 3 dudes?
I don't think they have to, Ron. I think they're professional basketball players, and they can they'd be more than okay without standing around dribbling the ball. I think Paul George dribbling the air out the ball is actually a hindrance to the game. And yeah, you might see that they have been dribbling the ball a lot, but now that Paul George isn't going to be standing around dribbling the air out the ball, it's actually going to be a positive.
Who's to say he's not? Paul George, I'm the number 2 option. Get out of my way, James Harden. You just got here.
James, let me give you a perfect example, Ron. I come in here every day. I get into it with Chilltown. I get into it with Mars. I get into it with Damo and all these guys, right? But you know what? I go to bat with them, and I'll go hoop with them any day. You know why? Because I know Mars is going to put in the time, put in the work, do the studying, do the film watching. I know he's going to do the work. I know Chilltown is going to come in and do the work required. You understand what I'm saying? To win, regardless if we get into it. Same thing with Damo. I can say whatever I want to say about Damo. Damo watches the goddamn Detroit Pistons. That should let you know something about Damo. He watches and knows about the Charlotte Hornets, bro. So that let me know something about these guys. Bob, he's a Sacramento Kings fan. He can talk to them about them up and down. Bro, James Harden, bro. What is the reason why Russ left Houston? And what was said? James Harden's unprofessionalism. So everybody says you're talking about everything but basketball. That is the problem with James Harden. It's about everything else except basketball with him. It's about $100,000 on honey buns for a little baby. It's about James Harden in a strip club after a Tuesday night that you took an L that everybody should be in a hotel somewhere watching film trying to get ready for the next game. It's about the James Harden who asked Doc Rivers to go to the strip club during the NBA finals, NBA playoffs, then shows up the next game and drops 4 points on 3 of 15 shooting for the game. So when I look at these guys in this room, we get into it every day. I talk shit to these guys every day. I get heated, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they are willing to put in the work. I respect that. That's the part I do. Whether I agree with you or not, whether I think you capping or not, I know they're going to put in the necessary work. James Harden has never proven in his career that he is willing to do that. He has never proven that he is willing to be a professional basketball player where he commits himself to the game and to the team as to where you can be great. Bro, we've been doing this show for a year. Mars committed himself. Shield committed himself. Bob has committed himself. You committed yourself, Ron. Damo has committed himself. Y'all all have been here for damn near most of the whole time. The whole year since we started episode 1. Bro, James Harden have had no consistency. He have left every situation crying and have had an excuse since he left Houston. Bro, it's over with, bro. It ain't no coming in to save his team. And the first time something goes wrong, what do you think is going to happen with James Harden? He's on a 1-year deal. He's playing for his NBA career. So you think he's just going to come in here, take a back seat, not be upset when we know Ty Lue makes the tough decisions? Ty Lue will sit you on the bench if you ain't playing no D and cut your minutes. You may play 18, 19 minutes. Well, how is that going to go over with James Harden when he got to go to the post-game press conference? When we seen him do it before and not only call the general manager who's supposed to be his best, this man turned on his best friend. His best friend who let him go to every strip club, who made every concession, got him the Lear private jets, did everything, got him all the hoes he wanted, Ron. Did everything this man wanted. He turned on this guy.
Which sound like a hell of a best friend to
Come
me,
on,
Tiki.
bro. Come on, bro. But we supposed to trust him to be the missing piece to come in here and help this team win a championship? When with James Harden, the Houston Rockets and Ime Udoka said, we don't want him. He didn't go over there talking about winning a championship and being the best for the team. He went over there talking about I can lead the league in scoring again. Come on, bro. Like, it's easy.
I think that's a little different though, Ticket, because going to the Houston Rockets, they're still not championship contenders. Him coming to the Clippers is a different situation. They can't contend. I mean, what's from the worst, James? I see you at the library. The one in Anaheim, though.
Oh,
yeah, but how is we've already seen, Bob, we've already seen this story with him and Westbrook. We've seen this story didn't work twice. We've seen that twice already. Bro, listen, James Harden, forget LeBron James, forget KD. This dude has played with the most superstars in NBA history and don't have a championship, bro. He should be getting the most criticism out of any player in the league. You've been an
all you
MVP.
gotta do is come and distribute, though. All you gotta do is come and get facilitate.
That's all he had to do last year.
Say that.
That's all he had to do last year too. When he was with Joel Embiid, he's playing the league MVP, and he was 20 and 10. He was 20 and 10. And he was 20 and 10.
He did his job.
And look what happened.
This is a better team. This is a better team.
Damn, Big Ox, he was playing with the league MVP. It wasn't like he was playing with a good player. He was playing with the league MVP.
The league MVP was hurt in the playoffs, which we seem to be
and he's going from a guy being hurt in the playoffs to two guys doing the same thing. This has been their watch over the last 4 years.
Act like, oh well, he had this MVP and he couldn't do it. Like the MVP was hurt, so
right.
That's why
maybe that might be the problem. Maybe that might be the problem, Oz. But here's the difference. The difference is that now we're moving over to two guys who are the same thing, who are also hurt. So are we looking at the same story again? Yes.
What contender is there in the NBA that James Harden could go to that wouldn't have injury questions? The Denver Nuggets. That's it. Every other team are going to say the same questions, no matter where he went. He went to Milwaukee. Well, Giannis gets hurt in the playoffs. Dame hasn't played in the playoffs since 2021. And then in 2020, guess who was hurt in the playoffs? Damian Lillard. If he goes to the Warriors, well, Steph Curry's been hurt quite a lot recently. Draymond Green's been hurt. Klay Thompson's had 2 career-ending injuries, and he's still there. But he's been hurt. Chris Paul, he's been hurt. Every contending team in the NBA, LeBron James has been hurt. Anthony Davis has been hurt. Every contending team in the NBA has injury concerns. Even Jamal Murray has torn his ACL in the last 2 years.
Correct.
All of them have injury concerns. So no matter what team he went to, we would just be making the same point. Well, they have injury concerns. If he went to Dallas, guess what? Well, Kyrie's always hurt. No matter what team he went to, we'd be making the same problem. So what? Should he just leave the NBA?
To the clown in the comments section.
Even the Celtics, Morris. Even the Celtics, Morris.
Jaylen Brown was missed the playoffs in 2021 because of injury.
KP's injury prone. So I mean,
Porzingis too. Yes, all of them.
That's understand. Injuries are part of the game. We all know that. But it's also a level of history too, though. Which Embiid has that. But with all due fairness,
we're gonna fall back on this every time we talk basketball.
That's the point. No matter what team you talk about, we're going to be talking about injuries.
Okay, so we've been talking about the most, though, Mars. That's the difference. And not only who have we been talking about the most, who has it hurt the most? There's one thing to talk about injuries in the playoffs as opposed to no, it has not. No question about it.
Nah, Kawhi got hurt every other year. Kawhi has been hurt every other year.
But he's actually
so what makes y'all wanna value Kawhi's injuries more than Joel's?
Because
Joel's
Kawhi
injuries
Leonard has been hurt.
direct.
Kawhi Leonard has had season-ending injuries every single year in the playoffs. Outside the year they got walked down by the Denver Nuggets. Every single year he's been with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard has had a season-ending
he's not available.
Okay,
except for the year that he got walked down by Denver.
And what year has Joel Embiid not been hurt?
No, but he played.
That's the difference. He's been available.
All I've heard is criticism about how badly he plays. So who cares?
No. But Mars, here's a difference though. Here's a difference. If Kawhi playing at 70% or at 60%, that's better than him not on the court at all. What we're saying to you is this: this dude his injury specifically has annihilated this team's hopes. Him getting hurt last year destroyed them in the Suns series. Him getting hurt the year they went to the Western Conference Finals destroyed them having a chance to get to and win the Western Conference Finals and go to the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. Him getting hurt the other year destroyed them from being able to even make the playoffs. They didn't even make the play. They didn't even make the play in, if I'm not mistaken. Or they made the play in. They lost the finals
and they couldn't play. Let me ask you, Chicken, because I've heard you up here. I've heard you up here say last year when because remember, I mean, PG was already out from that terrible looking hyperextension last year.
Right.
But Kawhi went out what game 2, and I mean, and you rightfully so have praised Russell Westbrook and Norman Powell for the efforts they put in to try to win that series, and I commend those brothers. You know, y'all know I'm a big Norman Powell fan. Do we think that maybe if James Harden was on that squad too, maybe they had more action at winning that series?
No, because James Harden doesn't have what you need to have to get you to the next level, bro. We've seen this, and now he's older. And that's the thing. He's older now, so it ain't like he's getting younger and reversing in time, bro. Bro, he has shown you his entire career that when it is time, when it is the moment, he will not deliver. It doesn't matter if it's against the San Antonio Spurs and they're weakened. He won't deliver in the game you need him to deliver. It won't matter if you're in a game 7 at home and your team is en route to missing 27 3-pointers in a row. He won't put his head down and take the ball to the rack. He won't do it. It doesn't matter if you're in a game 7, you're with the Philadelphia 76ers against the Boston Celtics, and you just torched their ass for 40-something, 2 games in the series. That last game, you can't not depend on this dude to step up, come through, and have a closeout game, bro. So what we're saying is that James Harden has proven to be a guy who you cannot depend on off the court or on the court in the biggest moments. And that's the same thing I said to you about Damian Lillard. That is the same thing I've said to you about various other players. And to the brother in the comment section who said to me, he said, Ticket, well, you said you hate these guys, but bro, Kobe Bryant hated half his teammates. How many fucking championships did he win with them? All right, then, shut your bitch ass up.
And Mars, if the way that Leonard played last season, let's just say for the sake of argument, that injury doesn't take him out of the playoffs, and he can play with that injury. How much more of a chance do the Clippers have in beating the Phoenix Suns as opposed to him being out of the lineup completely?
They beat the Suns in 5. If Kawhi doesn't go out, they beat the Suns in 5.
And I'm bringing that up to you, Mars, because I'm thinking about the fact that he's on the floor. We at least have a better chance as opposed to him being out of the lineup. With Joel Embiid being on the floor, I'm not asking you to score 35 or 40, especially when you beat up like that. Like you mentioned, Mars, that he's hurt the way he's hurt. Okay, but there's we do have a chance when you're on the floor. And when you're on the floor, you could do the other stuff to help us win basketball games. When you're not on the floor, that eliminates our chances. That completely eliminates our chances. So when a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who is out for the season, we don't have a shot at winning the NBA championship with him out. When he's out, when he partially tears his ACL against the Utah Jazz, when we're on our way to the NBA championship, we're out now. We don't have a shot at winning this thing. And then last season, when he's now out of the playoffs, the way he was playing, clearly outplaying KD in that series, we now no longer have a shot at winning this series. No longer do we have that. With Joel Embiid on the floor, even though he's beat up and even though he's banged up and he's hurt, we at least have a shot because he can do other things.
Yo, Damo, I wanna hear from you on this trade and your thoughts and feelings. And so nobody's gonna talk about how Philly won this trade.
They didn't
won this trade. I'm about to say that's what I've been waiting to say. I don't know. I mean, listen, I came in late. Sorry, had World War II in my bathroom. Nigga was late. Listen, I don't know if y'all only stuck to the Clipper side of things.
No,
I hope not. I'm about to say, because I'm looking at this trade from a Philly aspect. This is like one of the first lose-lose trades I've seen in a bit, especially after seeing the Dame trade and seeing how every team won in a way. Like, you can see how every team won. In this trade, to me at least, it seems like both these teams lost. I have no idea what they're cooking to Philadelphia. When they made that trade and I seen the trade details, the first thing I tweeted out, do these niggas not need a guard? Was no guard available at all? Like, you're just going to rely on Melton and Maxey to handle all guard responsibilities. Because looking at the scene, unless you're moving Kelly Oubre down, you're about to play Daniel House more.
Damo, I think what you're missing is this, Damo.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
Philly
who's
won the
their
trade.
starting two?
I'm about to tell you. I think Philly won the trade big time, and this is what I'm gonna tell you.
Big time.
I think this is what I think they're also going to do. I don't think they're going to stay on those guys. I think Philly, you'll see Philly make a move, and I told you guys this first. I think you're going to see them make a move for Malcolm Brogdon to get him over there. I think that Portland is going to trade Malcolm Brogdon, and I think now they have the assets where they can do a deal that is supplement to them.
Stop right there, Ticket. They can't, because I watched Portland last night. Scoot need him. They can't trade him.
No. They're going to listen. I told you Scoot was trash. We'll talk about that. Hold on. I told you, hold on, but y'all don't listen to me on this channel. All y'all do is degrade me. But let me say this. Back to what I was saying to Damo. Philly won this trade, and I'm gonna tell Damo why Philly won this trade. First of all, you got rid of your problem, the biggest crybaby, and the biggest detriment to a guy like Tyrese Maxey. That's one.
Bingo.
For one, you've unlocked Tyrese Maxey. Secondly, what you have done is this. You have not only brought toughness, but you have brought you have extended. You understand what I'm saying? Your length and your ability to defend on the perimeter, and those guys you're gonna have to play in the Eastern Conference with guys like Robert Covington, who played his best when he was in Philly. That was his best basketball in Philly before he left Philly. So Robert Covington helps them big time. Also, you're looking at a player
10 years ago.
And hold on, no. But Robert Covington's still in his prime. He's still young. I'd rather have Robert Covington right now than PJ Tucker. And that's a fact. PJ Tucker couldn't even score the basketball. Robert Covington can give you great perimeter defense and hit threes. And so not only that, then you also look at the other pieces. They got Morris, a veteran guy who can come off your bench and give you some good time and help you defend threes and fours off the bench in limited minutes. And then, like I said, Kelly Oubre Jr., he's going to be big for this team. So whether you start him or bring him off the bench, now you can slide him into the starting lineup in the PJ Tucker spot. He fits in seamlessly in that starting lineup because he can fill it up. And now you have guys you can come off the bench with in these role players. Nick Batum, he was a great role player for the Clippers. He can give the Philadelphia 76ers a few great minutes, come in, spread the floor, hit threes. He's still long, he's still lengthy, and he's a wily veteran and understand the game. And then they got multiple draft picks in this thing. So now moving forward, you still have multiple draft picks going forward in this game. So I think they did a good job because what they're doing now is they keyed in on Maxey. They got extra pieces that can help fill out their bench. So now their bench doesn't have so much questions. They got off PJ Tucker's bad contract because he was on a 3-year, $33 million contract at 38 years old. That's criminal. The contract he was on for him not to be able to score a bucket in a starting lineup. And then, like I said, you got younger and got a guy who played the absolute best basketball of his career when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers. And these guys fit perfectly into the scheme and to which Nick Nurse likes to do. He likes to defend, press you all over the court, trap you. Well, now he has the personnel with guys like Robert Covington and guys like Kelly Oubre Jr. to do exactly that. And then you don't have that much of slippage and fall off when Kelly comes out the game and you put Robert Covington in the game. Or, like I said, you can use Morris. As Morris can spread the floor and hit threes, you can play him beside Joel Embiid at times, and that helps Joel Embiid because, like I said, that helps open up the court. And Morris has shown you in the past he can make big shots. He understands how to play in the playoffs, and he can defend. His time with the Clippers just ran out. So I think that it makes you better as an all-around team. It gives you assets to go and say, hey, Portland, let's do the trade to get Malcolm Brogdon. And if they can get the Malcolm Brogdon trade done, to me, now that makes them for real, because they showed you already. They're going to be up there in the East as far as top 3 teams in the East. They just need that one point guard, like you said, and I agree. But Malcolm Brogdon is a guy that's being shopped by Portland right now. They're shopping him. They'll probably try to go get him. If they get a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who's a good point guard, not trying to, knows how to pick and choose the spots, knows how to run an offense, I'm sold on the Philly team making a serious run and potentially getting to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks.
Yeah, great assessment. It sounds nice on paper. I don't care about none of that you just said, honestly, looking at this team and looking at what their bench is and seeing how their bench is made up of mostly either undersized big and Mo Bamba and the rest are forwards, and that's really it. Again, they need more guard depth with this team. I understand people are saying, oh, they have Pat Bev. Nigga, I don't like Pat Bev. So saying, oh, they got Pat Bev, that doesn't move me. You can call it bias, you can call it hate, whatever. I'm not a Pat Bev guy. So having Pat Bev is not moving the needle when having a backup guard. You're running Kelly Oubre at the 2, and listen, maybe I'm not gonna lie, like I'm watching all Philly games because obviously I've been watching, like Ticket said, I've been watching all Detroit, Charlotte. Man, I've been watching everything y'all don't want to watch for real. So I haven't been watching Philly. Is Kelly Oubre creating his own shots every time? Is he a creator
he's doing that, and he's playing off the ball. He's doing that, and he's playing off the ball.
Okay,
Kelly Oubre is also coming off the bench too. DeAnthony Melton starts.
No. I know DeAnthony Melton starting, and I figured he's starting. I'm saying in terms of guard depth. If Kelly Oubre is there too, and he's creating his own shot, cool. From what I remember from Kelly, he was more of a streaky guy when it came to scoring. He wasn't just a flamethrower. He was a guy that could create, but for the most part, you want him in there with a creator. But if he's creating his own shot for Philly, cool. New Oubre is unlocked. Fine. I just don't feel comfortable with you guys trading y'all's playmaker for a bundle of washed forwards. I don't. Robert Covington. Hold on.
Robert Covington was one of the best players in the NBA last year off the bench for the Clippers. Statistically, you can look this up. He was one of the best players in the league. Look it up. He was the best player. He was one of the most efficient players and best players in the minutes he got off that bench. And that's why people were so upset that Tyronn Lue didn't give him a bigger role. You can look that up. I ain't just making that up.
Okay, again, Robert Covington is 1 year younger than James Harden. He's 33. He's not young. He's not a young guy. And I would be fair. I would feel comfortable saying he's not the same Robert Covington that was in Philly last time. This is a different Robert Covington. But that's fine. I'm not saying Robert Covington is a bad deal. It's just when you have, again, 3 washed forwards in this deal, it just doesn't seem worth it to me seeing the team you are. You already have an abundance of forwards. I felt they needed more guards. Looking at this trade, I thought at least Terrence Mann was coming back over here. When I looked and seen 3 38-year-old small forwards and some draft picks, which I don't know why y'all are just sold. I don't know why people get sold on a team getting draft picks if they've shown you a history of not being able to draft well. Who's the last good Philly pick? We watched the process crumble and die. Since the process picks, who have they picked in the later rounds at the bottom of the lottery, at the top of after the lottery? Who is that pick that's panned out? Like, what are we talking about? Like, so them getting picks, them getting picks ain't moving it for me. And yes, they did get Kenyon Martin Jr., but I don't think they're gonna play him. There's too many forwards here. Unless Paul Reed's not going to play now. But I'd be damned if I see Paul Reed and Kenyon Martin Jr. on the court together. What the fuck? Like,
Robert Covington shot 39. He shot 39 for the 3 last year. I'll take that with Philly. He also, the year before that, shot 45 from the 3. I'll take that with Philly. So last year he shot 39. The year before that, he shot 45 from the 3. They need that with the spacing that you need with Joel Embiid and guys like Maxey. So I disagree with you on that. If you can shoot the ball and spread the court, and you're tall and athletic like him that can guard that position, and you're not asked to play so many minutes, I can accept that. Also, you're looking at a guy, like I said, because PJ Tucker was giving absolutely nothing offensively, period. Couldn't score the ball anymore. And then defensively, he's just old. So that is an upgrade, in my opinion, as far as that movement. Marcus Morris, again, he just fell out of the rotation with the Clippers. He had stopped playing well within their schemes and just fell out of the rotation over there. But I don't think that he is just absolutely just to a point where there's no return. I just think he just needed a fresh start with this team. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Morris, like I said, he's a wily veteran. He's a good guy. And guess what? Even on his worst day last year, Marcus Morris still was averaging 15.5 points per game. So you got a guy, Marcus Morris, who averaged 15.5 points per game, but you're sitting over here dumbing him down. He shot 36 from the 3 last year, shot 43 from the field. So that was last year. This year, as in a lower role, he was averaging 11 points per game. So, I mean, you got a guy that averaged 11, another dude that shot 39% from the 3 in Robert Covington. You also got another young up-and-coming player that the Clippers gave them. I forgot his name, Mars. You probably remember his name. The young guy that they gave up in this deal too, the Clippers. I forget his name.
KJ Martin or Brandon Boston?
Yeah.
Wait, they have a Brandon Boston?
I think so.
Yeah, no,
From
yeah.
what
I
I've
know,
seen,
I know they gave. I
I
know they gave up KJ. I know they gave up
Yeah,
KJ.
I'm talking
don't see Brandon in the deal.
I'm talking about KJ. I'm talking about KJ. Too. I'm talking about KJ. So,
Yeah, I know
Damo,
they gave up KJ Martin.
me personally, that's better than having James Harden on a 1-year deal. Because, like I said before, James Harden is on a 1-year deal. So, with the Clippers,
And Damo, why don't you? And Damo, keep going. I'm sorry, Ticket. Keep going.
no, I'm saying if the Clippers, chill. If James Harden fails this year and walks away, the Clippers just lost all of that in the picks for nothing.
And Damo, what's your
All of what?
what's
The
your
picks
issue?
and all the players I just told you.
I'm just trying to make sense of the issue with the guards, because I love moving off of James Harden and giving the basketball to Maxey. I love that. I'm not asking. I love that. I think that this is your franchise point guard. To be quite honest with you, I just hate the fact that Doc and Sam Cassell aren't there anymore, because I don't think that he's going to be. I think he's going to be good with Nick Nurse. Don't get me wrong. I think he's averaging I think as of right now he's averaging like 30 and 6.
36 and 6. And
Yeah,
chill, that's my biggest thing.
Yeah,
What
he
you just
averaged
said is my biggest thing in the whole trade. Sometimes less is more. We've seen this every year with sports. When you give away a star player and you be like, man, what is this team going to do? How are they going to make up for his production? How do they continue to be successful? And the next guy literally steps up and does the same thing. Maxey is going to have more of an impact than James Harden ever did with Joel Embiid. He's shown it over the last couple playoff runs. He literally has outplayed James Harden in the playoffs the last couple years. I don't understand why we're forgetting what Maxey did last year. Now he literally looked like the best player on the Philadelphia roster. The year before that, he had a coming out party where he acted like it was just a fraud, just a fluke. We was like, we got to see him do it again. He came back the next year, did it again. Not only that, he came back this year, and I know it's just 3 games. This has been the theme of our show so far this week. It's only been 3 games, but he's averaging 36 and 6. And I think this is the reason why Philly felt comfortable going ahead and pulling that trigger. It's like, yo, we don't need James Harden. These young boys over here balling.
Not only that, Ron, Tobias Harris, his role is going to get bigger. And then not only that, let's look at this. Damo, I got a little more ether for you. I think you underrating Kelly Oubre Jr. The last in his ability to score the basketball. The last 6 years in the league, Kelly Oubre Jr. gave you 16.9, 18.7, 15.4, 15, 20.3, and this year he's averaging 19 a game with Philly. To me,
who was he playing with?
And he's shooting 50%. Hold on. He's shooting 50% from the field this year. Now, he is only shooting 31 from the 3, 50 from the field, 31 from the 3. He's shooting 93 from the free throw line. And he's averaging 19 points a game so far this year with Philly. So he's fitting into his role perfectly. I mean, he's going to put up those type of numbers. He's shown you, and the reason why I called out his other years, he's shown you that he can score numbers. Good teams or bad teams, he can give you decent numbers. He can give you decent production offensively. So for you, when you said that, I think that kind of defeats your point of his offensive production when the last 6 years he's averaged around 17 points per game in the NBA the last 6 years.
I never questioned his offensive production.
No. I'm saying
how he scores the ball.
Right, no. I'm saying right. I told you he scores on and off the basketball. He scores off of spot up 3-pointers in the corner, and he scores in a variety of ways. And that's the thing I like about Kelly. He scores a lot in transition, running the ball, which is what Maxey does. Maxey gets it and pushes it and goes, and then him running and filling in those lanes gets him a lot of easy buckets. He also scores as far as corner shots where he spreads out the floor. Drive and kick situations where he'll get open shots. He scores that way. He also scores on trash buckets where he'll get tip-ins and things like that. Kelly Oubre Jr. scores in a variety of ways, and he's got a lot of energy, and he's a very good defensive piece, bro. I think you getting Tucker out the way, it gives him more minutes and gives him more of an opportunity. And then Tobias Harris, the biggest key to the Philadelphia 76ers success or non-success, in my opinion, Tobias Harris, the most unappreciated player in the National Basketball Association. He's giving you 19.7 points per game this year with James Harden out of there. With James Harden on the team the last couple of years, Harris's production went down, and they all trashed Tobias Harris. Right now, as we speak, Tobias Harris is averaging 19.7 points per game on 66% from the field, 55% from the 3, and he's shooting shots. He's shooting 66 from the field, 55 from the 3, and he's shooting 81 from the free throw line, giving you 19.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 4.7 rebounds and 2 assists per game, and a steal, and 1.3 1.3 blocks per game. So I love his production. I love the way James Harden gone, everybody else can step up and play their game. So I think Philly won, Damo. And I think there's more reason to just who you got and who you lost. I think it's what everybody else can do.
I never once mentioned them losing James Harden being a problem here. I understand them getting rid of James Harden being out of that locker room is a plus. I get that. I'm just talking about player for player. Who got what in what package? I see this as a lose-lose for both teams. I don't see Harden fitting on the Clippers at all. I said that this offseason. And looking at the Sixers team, you're talking about all this scoring Kelly Oubre's doing. If you go back and look at the track record of guys he played with, which is why I asked, who has he played with? He's playing with playmaking point guards. Throughout his career, he's played with point guards who is going to try to get him the ball. Not saying he can't score by himself, which is why I asked, is he actually creating for himself? But regardless, he's playing with point guards who are playmaking and making sure guys are getting their shots. When it comes to Tyrese Maxey, we're throwing 37 and 6 out there like these are league guard numbers. Motherfuckers won't call Steph Curry a point guard with those numbers.
Well, this is my thing,
hold
though,
on. Steph Curry averages 6 to 5 assists, and niggas will say he needs Draymond to be the point guard. He needs other facilitators. Get Chris Paul down there. That's not a point guard. That's a shooting guard. Tyrese Maxey gets this, and now it's, oh yeah, lead ball guard. I can't wait to see him unleash. Nigga, Maxey can score. I'm not doubting his scoring. That's fine. I have not seen him be the level of playmaker where I'm like, I trust you to get everybody else going. That's just me. I'm not trying to be a hater. I like Maxey's game as a scorer. I like him to score the ball, but they need more guards. They need other guys to create for other guys. Now, if you're telling me D'Anthony Melton is about to be the secondary playmaker and make up for the playmaking difference, what that team needs, not just from losing James Harden, just what they need, what Joel Embiid need to get his shots, what Tobias Harris need to get his shots. Knowing all that, if we're gonna say, oh yeah, let's rock with Maxey, I'll wait and find out.
Go ahead, Chill.
Do they need other guards, or does the offense need to change? Because we do have a big we do have a big fellow.
Chill. Damo's full of shit. No, respectfully, Damo is full of shit. He's full of shit. Now he already said he blew the hinges off the toilet this morning. He said that, not me. He's literally full of shit, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Why are we crying about his playmaking? Chilltown. Joel Embiid is averaging 31. Tobias Harris is averaging, Maxey's averaging 30. Tobias is averaging almost 20, 19.7. And Kelly Oubre Jr. is averaging 19 points per game. Do that sound like they got a problem distributing the fucking basketball? No. It sounds like a nigga that's like I said.
It sounds like they had somebody distributing the fucking basketball.
Because if nobody's having a problem getting their shot off, they got 4 dudes averaging damn near 20 on the team. That's on the team right now.
Who's on that team ticket? Who's on that team ticket?
Joel Embiid at 31. Right, I'm talking about right now. Right now. Joel Embiid's at 31. Tobias Harris, 19.7. And Kelly Oubre Jr. is at 19 points per game. They don't seem to have any problems with other guys getting their shots. So what you just said is a load of crap. And I'm gonna say it again. They almost beat the Bucks the other night, and they should have won that game. And I like the Bucks. They should have won that game because that play from Giannis should have never counted when he passed it to Dame. They should have won that game. So without James Harden. So what I'm saying, all I'm saying to you is this: they have 4 players averaging damn near 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. They don't have a problem with basketball distribution, sir.
Right, you're right. So a 3-game sample size is large enough for you to understand that's all you need to see to know that this is what they're capable of doing for the whole season. Correct?
No, Damo, we're not doing that.
No. Chill, stop. Chill, stop. No, nigga, stop trying to save him. Chill. I'm not asking you. Chill. No. Stop trying to say this, nigga, bro.
Yeah, chill. You gotta think this one out. It's Damo ticket. It's Damo ticket.
Take it away. Let me finish my question. Wait, ticket. Hold on. It's just yes or no. It's just yes or no. Wait. It's a two-parter. If you're saying yes, hold on. If you're saying yes, the 3-game sample size for the Sixers is long enough for you to be like, yeah, this is what they can say in all season. Yes. Go ahead and pay Jalen his fucking money because Wemby is not averaging 25 in 3 games. I'll get the fuck out of here.
Hold on one second.
Give him his money. Give Jalen his money. It's been 3 games. Give Jalen his money.
Damo, let me answer my question so I slow ether your ass. The reason why I said yes is because
I fast cook shit, nigga. I'm a microwave. I don't need no fucking slow cooker.
Hold on, Damo.
Get to
I'm
the
gonna
point.
ask you a question now, Damo. I'm gonna ask you a question. Damo, how many years in a row have you seen Joel Embiid average 30?
One?
How many have there been other years where Kelly Oubre has averaged 19 points a game?
No.
Yes, there has been.
Yes, last year.
Okay. So you've seen him do it before, right? You've seen him do it before. Okay. Have we ever seen Tobias Harris average 19 points per game?
Yeah.
All right, then shut your bitch ass up. You lost.
Have you not seen him average out with playmakers?
No.
What teams was he on? What teams was he on?
Hold on. I'm about to cook you right now.
Because
we've seen
Tobias. Basketball reference for everybody.
Who was Tobias Harris point guard when he was doing it with the Clippers?
With the Clippers, when he was averaging,
When he was leading the team and scoring, averaging damn near 20. Did he have a all-the-world playmaking point guard, or was he playing with Lemon Pepper Lou and guys like Pat Beverly and those guys? Answer the question, dog, because I'm finna cook your ass 3 the hard way. You finna get annihilated today. Ain't nobody stopped Joel Embiid, James Harden or not, from averaging 30 a game. He gonna get 30. Kelly Oubre Jr. has showed you on good teams, bad teams, mid teams, any team, he can put up numbers. 15 and up. That's guaranteed per season, last 6 years in a row. Don't matter who
y'all beating around the bush though. Y'all beating around the bush. Let's get to the nitty gritty, y'all. Let's get to the nitty gritty of this.
What's the nitty gritty?
I'm about to tell you right now, Chilltown, because I already said last year. I said last year and low March.
The team with Milos Teletovic
jumped me because I said
Teodosic. I'm sorry. Is he not a playmaking point guard? Is Milos not a playmaking point guard?
This.
Is he not?
That shit don't even matter. That shit don't even matter. Y'all arguing
did you hear what he just said, Bob?
Y'all arguing about
the question.
No, Bob. Did you hear what he just said?
I didn't hear.
Teodosic.
He said Teodosic, Bob.
Yeah, he was a solid point guard.
He was a playmaking point guard.
Shout out to Kid Milos.
What are we talking about?
Look, though, check it out. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. That shit don't even matter. Who gives a shit what Tobias Harris averaged 13 years ago? What I'm talking about is this.
Okay.
I already said last year, let Tyrese Maxey get the ball. Mars and Lowe tried to jump me about that shit. They were extremely disgruntled about that. All right, we passed that, right? We passed that. Okay, so
they really lumped you up for that one too.
Really did. I was like, God damn. But look, what I'm trying to say is this. This don't do y'all talking about this person averaged this person averaged that. These fucking 76ers aren't winning shit. Who got five first round draft picks for Joel Embiid? Because he got to get the hell up out of there. Let's get to the real shit. Tyrese Maxey can average 30, 12, and 12 for the first 3 games of the season. All he wants when it comes down to the playoffs, they're getting spanked.
I disagree, Bob.
Yeah, I do too. I do.
But
before we get to that,
I know y'all do. But Joel got to get up out of there. He got to get up out of there.
Why they get spanked, Big Ox? What's the problem? Because stop right there, Big Ox. I'm 100% confident since I've been up here with you dudes. You've made it clear to me because I said so is not an answer. So why are they getting spanked, Big Ox? Why are they getting spanked? What's the problem?
Kicking and Dumbo just said why.
What you mean, Bob? Hold on, Bob. They win 7 games.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm
out on Philly. Why I'm out on Philly?
Because they just explain why. Hold on, chill.
No, I'm saying everyone has said why they're not going to win 2 days ago, but now all of a sudden they
Nicholas Batum, Tobias Harris. What are we doing? What they about to do?
No, Mars, I've been with you on Philly.
Besides, get their ass whipped in the first round.
Mars, I've been with you on Philly since last year. Don't say that, Mars. Don't do that. I've been with you
all I've heard about is how Joel Embiid.
No. I didn't. Hold on, Mars. I didn't say that, Mars. I did not say that. I've been with you on Philly, and I told you, and I said. Remember, I got kicked out the show yesterday, so I wouldn't hear most of the show.
Against I said he wasn't with
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. No. Listen to what I'm saying. I said, Mars, that to what I've seen right now, Philly is right there with the Bucks. We saw the first game with the Bucks. To me, they're better than the Miami Heat right now. To me, I got to see them play the Celtics, but I think they're on the same level with the Celtics and the Bucks. That don't mean that they're trash. Yes.
With Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre?
Bro, we just saw the Bucks. We just saw the Bucks lose. We just saw the Bucks lose to to what you call it, bro?
Atlanta.
We just seen the Bucks lose.
That happens. That's basketball.
They got smoked by Atlanta. Hold on, Bob. Yeah. We just seen them get smoked by Atlanta. Hold on, Bob. They don't have a problem with the Knicks. The Cavs ain't a problem for them. I need Bob to explain this, Ron. The Cavs ain't no problem for him.
I was trying to.
The Knicks ain't a problem for him. The Raptors ain't a problem. The Bulls ain't a problem. None of those other teams, Orlando is not a problem for them. The only teams they have to worry about is the Celtics and the Bucks. And they can legitimately beat either one of those teams in a 7-game series. Tell me why they can't, Bob.
The Pistons locking all that dumb shit up.
Because they're relying on Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre. That's why.
So we're not relying on Tyrese Maxey and
Tyrese and Joel ain't gonna get it done. It's not enough. You gotta have more than 2 players to win championships and win playoff series. You know that.
Bro, even last year, Tobias Harris put up good numbers in the playoffs. He played great in the playoffs. That wasn't his fault. James Harden did that. Tobias Harris balled out last year in the playoffs.
Hey, I could be wrong. I'm not saying my word is law or nothing like that. I'm just saying I disagree. I disagree with what y'all saying. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on these players. Once again, you could be right. I could be wrong. I'm just giving my take. I can't count on Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, Robert Covington, and Nicholas Batum.
Why though? Why though?
There's not enough minutes for all of them to play.
Kelly Oubre Jr.'s even played a playoff game before.
Yes, he has. He was in Washington.
If he has, it was when he was young on his rookie deal in Washington.
Yeah, he was in Washington. He was in the playoffs with Washington.
Okay, I don't think Kelly Oubre Jr. since he's attended has played a playoff game. So.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's my thing with Philly. It's not necessarily like we've only talked about offense. That's all we've talked about this whole time. The reason why I'm impressed with this Philly team as opposed to the last few years is because they have valid defenders over there. Patrick Beverley, D'Anthony Melton is a very, very, very underrated perimeter defender. Kelly Oubre, Robert Covington's another guy that will come over and bring defense. Nicholas Batum's he's old, but he's a solid defender. Joel Embiid, I don't really got to speak on him. You know, he's a paint protector. He plays defense when he wants to, when he's not being lazy. They have dirty work guys.
That's the shit that makes me nuts when I hear stuff like very, very underrated. What are we talking about with Melton? Underrated according to what?
D'Anthony Melton is a good defender in this NBA.
So that's not very, very, very underrated. You're talking like he's an all-league defender, or he's like Pat Beverly good or something like that. We don't know how good he is. He's on a team.
We do know how good he is. We do know how good he is.
So he was on a team. If I'm not mistaken, was he not in Memphis on a damn good defensive team?
Yes, and he was part of the reason why they were a good defensive team.
Yeah. So now he's
how many defenders that they got that are better defenders than Kelly Oubre?
On Philly?
Yeah, on Philly. How many of their defenders are better defenders than Kelly Oubre?
Well, perimeter defenders.
Perimeter defenders.
However you don't know.
Okay, so Joel Embiid is a better defender. Maybe Tobias Harris. I think he's a better Tobias Harris. And I'm not gonna go. I don't think he clears Kelly Oubre, but I do think he's a better defender than Kelly Oubre. He's bigger. He does rebound. I think he has a little bit more range. Let's see, who else do they have? Well, PJ Tucker's gone, and I don't think the PJ Tucker even. I wouldn't even mention PJ Tucker in that same category. But
KJ Martin, they best defender in my book.
Now Robert Covington is over there. I think he's a better defender. He plays on the perimeter.
So they got 6 top 25 defenders in the NBA.
Philly does. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go that far. No, I'm not.
I see what you're doing.
I'm not gonna go that far. No, I'm not doing that.
What I am saying, no one's gonna bring up Mr. Incredible in the background. That's what I'm waiting for.
Hey, y'all hold on one second.
Let's go. It's Halloween, boys. We gotta talk about some. Mr. Incredible's in the building. Shout out to the James Harden talk. I do think the Sixers got better, but we gotta talk about another Mr. Incredible. The man is a top 5 scorer in the NBA. He is a bucket getter. Cam Thomas has arrived. Top 5 scorer in the NBA.
Yeah,
he's the truth. He's the truth. One of the best mid-ranges in the game. We got to start putting some respect on that man's name. Top 5 is going to be top 5 in the league of scoring this year. He might be an all-star this year, too. He is that dude. Mr. Incredible. Let's get it going.
Hey man, you looking for Dwight, man? What's going on with you, man?
I'm looking for Elastic Girl.
Let me say something, man.
Maybe trade Joel Embiid to the Nets and have some action.
Hey, I gotta say something. Jason Whitlock, if you want smoke with me, you can come on. You talking about me? Let's get it. Jason Whitlock running his mouth. If you really want that smoke with me, because you say you want the smoke, Jason, come on. We can do it here on PC. We can do it on my channel. However you want to do it, dog. If you really want that smoke, let's get it, dog. I mean, bro, because you're doing a lot of talking, man, to be from Ball State, one of the worst college football organizations in the history of college football. You be doing a lot of talking about Deion Sanders and Coach Prime, bro. When you yourself, sir, lost more games pretty much than anybody in college football history. So if you really want that smoke, Jason, stop playing, dog. Stop talking about me on your show, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to cook you 3 the hard way. And you don't have to ask me, because the last time me and we was on the call together, you ran. Stop playing, dog. That's all I had to say. My bad, dude running his mouth on his channel about me. So, yeah, I had to cook him real quick.
All righty.
Yeah, but the Sixers got spanked in this trade.
I mean, I don't think they had any choice. I mean, Harden clearly wasn't going to play for them. You know, they were over it, so they had to get what they could, and I think they got as much as they could with the situation they had to deal with.
Now they need to free Joel. Stop this bullshit. They don't got no action. Free Joel. Let that man go.
I mean, hold up, but I'm kind of here with Tigger though too, because like Maxi's taking a step up, so I think that's a legitimate bona fide number 2 option. I think he's really that dude. Tobias is still giving you 16, 17 any given night. You mentioned the shooting of Covington. You mentioned Marcus Morris bringing some toughness. And with the East, like I understand, look, Milwaukee and Boston are still definitely ahead. But after that, with the Cavs, with the Knicks, I think Philly's right there in that situation. So when it comes to the playoffs, you know, 7-game series, if an injury happens to the Bucks or Boston, they just have a couple bad games, I wouldn't be shocked if Philly can beat them in a 6-7 game series.
Joel to Brooklyn, please.
Hey, I do have to agree with Jalen on one thing he said, bro. And I had a video come out about this today too, bro. Cam Thomas is one of the best scorer in the NBA right now.
No doubt.
Cam Thomas is the best scorer in the NBA, Ron. I'm watching this, bro. This dude be cooking Chilltown. Cooking. He is the best scorer in the national. This dude scores so easy, bro. It makes no sense whatsoever. Breakdown off the y'all can laugh at what I'm saying. I think he has a chance to lead the league in scoring this year. Because Brooklyn's going to unleash this kid, man. He's going to unleash him. Where is he at right now on the scoring list right now? Just at
he's at 33, I want to say.
Ron, ain't nothing stopping that boy from putting that ball in that cup over there. They're going to keep allowing him to get buckets, bro. And I watch him since last year into this year. Bro, how Kevin Durant, got to give him props because he found him and brought him to Brooklyn. He gave Brooklyn a jewel. That boy, Chilltown, go watch Cam Thomas score the basketball, bro. Break anywhere on the court. Shake down, break down. Man down, hand down, man down. That's your ass. So I agree with Jalen, bro. That is one of the best take. That dude might lead the NBA in scoring this year, bro. And it might be he might end up being one of the greatest scorers that we've seen in this era right here. Because I just think that the way
he's better than Tyrese Maxey?
Huh?
Is he better than Tyrese Maxey?
Scoring the basketball?
Just yes. All around, just in basketball. Who'd you rather have?
No, not around. But scoring the basketball, he's one of the best scorers in the world.
Just a bucket.
He's one of the best scorers. Hey, Bobby, I think he's gonna break the record this year in the last decade for 40-point games. I'm literally watching him, and I was watching him the other night, bro. Bro, you talking about breaking dudes down off the dribble, finishing tough shots at the rim with either hand, Chilltown, being able to hit the J ball, shooting a good percentage from the field while he's doing it. He ain't just jacking up shots. He making them shits. The only thing they hadn't done is been winning on a consistent basis. They won last night, and I think they beat Charlotte last night. And that reminds me about you, Damo. Hey, Damo and Mars, you were so wrong about Brandon Miller. That boy is an animal, bro. God damn, Brandon Miller was cooking last night. But yeah, man, as I said though, dog, you're gonna have to stand on that one, Mars. But Cam Thomas, man, he's gonna be one of the best. I said it first. Well, he said it, but I'm gonna say it now. He's one of the best scorers. He'll be one of the best scorers in the NBA for years to come, bro. That kid is a bucket. Period.
How's everybody else feeling about Cam Thomas and his break? I don't want to say breakout 3 games because he's shown us in the past he could do this. But how are we feeling about him coming out with 3 straight 30 balls to start the season?
Ron, did you not? If I'm not mistaken, did you not have me on Front Street last season when I said, quote, what is Cam Thomas doing in Brooklyn?
Wasting away.
One more time, Big Ox, for the people in the back. They didn't hear you.
Wasting away.
Wasting away. When he was at LSU, he was the first player since Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, a freshman, to lead the SEC in scoring and be in the top 5 in the country in scoring. He was a bucket getter from the door, not just when he got to Brooklyn. That's who he's always been. And I said this last season when he was in Brooklyn, where he'd go for 40 for 3 or 4 straight games, and then he'd have 3 or 4 straight games where he was 18 minutes, 16 minutes, and then 2 games where he did not play. I said he was wasting away in Brooklyn. I said that last season. Now all of a sudden the dude is on the floor and he's a bucket getter, and he's that dude. Nice job, yo. Nice job.
I was the only one in here saying that with you that last year in that series, Chill. We was asking why Brooklyn wasn't playing Cam Thomas. Remember when we said that? Why we was asking why he wasn't getting more burn in that series, because they didn't have no offense and they needed offense, and the coach refused to put him on the court. Bro, he's going to be the most improved player in the NBA this year. I think he's going to end up keeping. I think it's Cam Johnson. I think he's going to end up keeping that. I would keep starting him, bro. I made a video about that. They got to make a decision, bro. To me, you start that kid, bro. You don't hold no kid back that can do like that, bro.
Right.
Even if he has deficiencies defensively, I don't care, bro. You unleash that.
We can figure it out. Yeah, we can figure it out. We can figure it out.
Chill. Watch him every game throughout the rest of the season, bro. Can't nobody stop this nigga scoring the ball 1-on-1. Nobody.
Yeah, and Cam Johnson didn't play last night, so obviously it was an easy in for Cam Thomas to start. And obviously he did what he did. He had 33, and he's been the previous 2 games came off the bench. But kind of how Ticket was saying, I like the way that their starting lineup's constructed. When you start Cam Thomas next to Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, but he's in the starting lineup, and then you got Mikal Bridges too, and then obviously Nick Claxton starting. I'm not too mad at that, and I'm not even mad at just bringing Cam Thomas back in and moving Dinwiddie to the bench. But Brooklyn, they definitely got something that they're brewing up over there for sure with Cam.
Could Cam Thomas be later on? I'm not talking about today because I don't think he's the best scorer in the game today. But could at some point Cam Thomas be the best scorer in the game?
He is right now.
He's not a better scorer than Luka. No, he is not.
No, he is right now.
No, he is not. No, he is not.
He is a chill. No, he is not. Chill. Score for score. Score for score. And he don't got the full green light. He averaged 30. He was chill. Wait, hold on. Time out, chill. Time out, chill. Listen to what I'm saying. He started the first 2 games coming off the bench, chill. He wasn't in the starting lineup. Luka been in the lineup from the beginning. If he was in the starting lineup, those 30 balls may have been 40 or 45, chill. Those first couple of games. He just now started this last game, bro, and dropped 33. So, as I'm saying, and he showed you the last couple of years, he's had multiple 40-point games easy. Bro, he the best scorer in basketball, in my opinion, bro. From what I've seen. Y'all can say no. He going to keep dropping 30. As long as they leave him in the starting lineup, he going to have 30s every game. 30 plus, 35, 40s, 40, 42, 43. Bro, I watch the kid, bro. Can't nobody stop that kid.
I do too. He's nothing but buckets. And he get to the basket with the best of them. Got a great body, can take contact. He's one of those guys, no question about it. But as of right now, the best scorer in the game is a difference between being the best scorer in the game and scoring the most points. Those 2 things are not the same thing.
I'm not saying he's more efficient than Luka. Isn't he more efficient than Luka?
His efficiency is off the charts. But Luka
hold on. He's more efficient than Luka. Hold on. I'm not lying, making this up. He's more efficient than Luka down to scoring the ball. I'm not lying. I'm not just making this up. Hold on. Luka was like what? Hold on. Cam Thomas in his first 3 games of the season, Chilltown, 13 for 21, 12 for 19, and 10 for 17 from the field. 36, 30, and 33. He scored 36 points in 25 minutes, Chill. And you sitting up here telling me
that is crazy.
Chilltown, off the pitch in 25 minutes, he scored 36. Chilltown, in 33 minutes, he put up 30, Chill. Chill, listen. Y'all gotta watch this kid, bro. I watched him.
No, I understand the numbers, Ticket.
Chill. Hold on, chill. And he's 61% from the field. And Chilltown, this year, he ain't even hitting the 3. He ain't even hitting the 3 like he was last year. Last year he was shooting 38 from the 3. This year he's only shooting 30 from the 3, but he's shooting 61 from the field, and he's shooting from the free throw line 83%. So he's a very good free throw.
He got off to a really good start. I think that 61 is going to come down because he's going to see different defenses throughout the course of the year. I think that 61 is going to come down. He's going to see different traps. He's going to see different double teams. He's going to see different switches. They're going to put bigger bodies on him. So I'm not saying that he's not going to be buckets, but to shoot 60% from the floor for the season, I think that's a little much. However, I still think that this dude is a bucket getter, 100%. But to say he's the best scorer, he is not a better scorer than Luka. He is not a better scorer than KD. He is not a better scorer. I'm not sure he's not a better scorer than Steph Curry. He's not a better of all of these guys.
After those three, I'm with you. After those, I had Luka.
No, chill. I'm not saying all the time. I'm saying right now.
I'm not saying all the time either. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about
he's a better
Tuesday,
scorer than KD
October 31st, 2023. He is not a better scorer than Luka.
He's a better scorer than KD today. He's a better scorer than KD today. He's a better scorer than Luka right now. Luka putting up a lot of shots, Chill Town. You got to remember that too. You talking about that? Luka's putting up a lot of shots, bro. Cam Thomas ain't putting up as many shots as Luka putting up. And what Luka average per game? Luka out here right now averaging 39 points per game.
Yeah,
39 points per game.
His three-point shot will come down to Luka shooting an unsustainable rate from three. We all know Luka.
1,000%. That's why we shouldn't be making opinions on who's the best at anything after 3 games.
Right. No, but I think with Cam Thomas, we saw the flashes, in the past seasons too, where he's always been incredibly efficient from the mid-range. The interesting thing about Cam Thomas is he's not particularly a phenomenal three-point shooter, or even when he gets to the rim, guys still stay in front of him. He's phenomenal at making contested shots. Even in the mid-range, a lot of his shots, he's not that quick. So a lot of his shots, he's just kind of taking this kind of step back and just kind of shooting over him, kind of like what KD, but he's not that KD size and length, but he's just shooting contested shots and making them.
It reminds me a little bit of Kyrie, like the way he's able to shoot difficult and contested shots. It's very Kyrie-like. For sure.
Is he a better scorer today? Is he a better scorer today than Kyrie Irving?
See, this is the thing. Yes. Kyrie's a more skilled scorer, but Cam Thompson's production and the efficiency.
Because production matters. That's it, Moss. That's it.
I hear you.
1 week ago today, not in a month. Today, 1 week ago, the season started. We're a week into the season. That's it.
But chill. We're saying every time he's got minutes. We're saying every time he's got minutes and got an opportunity, he's dropping 40, bro. And then not only that, Chill, do you think Luka's going to shoot 48 from the 3 all season? You said that Cam's not going to shoot 61.
I do think that's going to come down. However, when I'm thinking about a dude shooting 61% on the tough shots that he makes, don't get me wrong, Cam Thomas makes tough shots. He looks like he could be one of the best tough shot makers in the game. If this continues, I don't think it's going to continue at a 60% rate. I think that's asking a bit much because, again, we are talking about a smaller guard who's going to get double teamed. He not just double teamed, he's going to get switched on with bigger guards. Now, if you're talking about him dragging bigger guards and bigger perimeter players further away from the basket, that's still going to be a problem for him. With that all being said, him being a skilled scorer, I look at guys like Luka. I look at guys like Kyrie Irving, De'Aaron Fox, Jason. I'm looking at all of these guys and I'm thinking to myself, as Cam Thomas, can he be one of the best scorers in the game? I think he can be. Right now, let's chill out, yo.
I think he's for sure top 5, right? I wouldn't go as far as taking in terms of 1, but I think he's top 5.
I do, because before we move on, we got super chats to get into.
Yep.
But before we do that, I do want to get a prediction, Jalen, from you and Ticket, since you guys are very high on Cam right now. What do you think he's going to average throughout the duration of the year?
29.
I was thinking 27, 28.
I think it's going to be like 31. I think he'll finish the league probably top 3, top 5 in scoring, 31 points a game. And I think out of all the 30-point scorers in the league, he'll be the most efficient 30-point scorer.
He'll be more
because if his minutes.
Well, I can't wait. Jokic.
Could he be a better scorer this season than Damian Lillard?
Yes, he will be. Dame is already sure because Giannis is going to end up taking over that scoring thing. I thought it was going to be Dame after game 1. But it's not going to be Dame. It's going to be Giannis. Giannis is going to always draw that attention. But chill, man. I'm looking at Cam Thomas, bro. This dude do that shit in limit. Bro, he dropped 36 in 25 minutes, bro.
Oh, first of all, Cam Thomas reminds me, he's like a more athletic, I'm going to say a more athletic version of Vinny Johnson. He's just buckets. As soon as he come in the game, get him the basketball. Just get him the pill and turn him loose. There's no misunderstanding about it. You don't got to run a lot of sets for him. Just get him the ball and turn him loose because he's buckets. That's what he's going to get you. He's going to get you buckets. And I think that's going to help Brooklyn. I think it's going to help Brooklyn a lot because, Ben Simmons is playing at an all-league defensive level again, doing that again. Mikal Bridges is also playing at an all-league defensive level. But Cam Thomas being your best scorer, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Claxton seems like he might be out for a while. Apparently, he was seen in a walking boot. That's going to hurt their defense quite a bit.
Do we know what happened to him?
No, I just saw a beat writer. They put out that he was seen in a walking boot. They haven't put out anything yet, though. Okay.
More importantly, how many first-round draft picks did the Brooklyn Nets have?
You really want Joel Embiid to the Nets?
You want to go? Are you on line 1, Big Ox? With Philadelphia, with Brooklyn,
that's what they need to be doing right now.
Check it out, because I do want to talk about since this is something that's really on your mind. I do want to get into this. I'm gonna read some super chats first, but I want everybody while I'm reading these super chats to think of good trade destinations for Joel Embiid. What is a great destination, and who actually has the pieces to suffice and get Joel Embiid? So, y'all think about that. I'm gonna get to these super chats right quick. Appreciate everybody that sent through a super chat. Y'all know the drill. If you haven't liked the video yet, pay your entry fee. Go ahead and slap that button. MP13 sent through a super chat and said, I did well. Ideal trade destination for Joel Embiid. And he said, can we talk how effortlessly Jokic is just walking through whoever's trying to guard him? That has to be the most nonchalant 27, 12, and 9 I've ever seen.
Who is he playing against? He only got to play against 2 centers in the NBA, AD and Joel Embiid. My bad. And Bob's boy over there in Sacramento, he ain't got no other real centers to play against. Y'all praising these dudes.
What's a real center on defense?
Okay, the real like in the 90s where you had a war every single night, or like right now at the guard position where you have wars going on every single night at the guard position. They don't have that at the big man position no more. It's a guards league now. So now every single night you looking, these Jason Tatum, it's Cam Thomas, it's KD. It's Devin Booker. It's Kyrie Irving. It's Luka Doncic. No, I'm giving you the names of the guards in the league that are putting up all these numbers. So these are the wars you got every single night, every single game. Go through the big men in the NBA. How many big men do he really have to worry about?
I think there's actually more defensive big men than
no. I asked you how many big men do when you look at the schedule?
Yeah.
How many big men do you feel like throughout the season he got to worry about? How many games?
Joel Embiid.
Who has to worry about?
Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Nick Claxton.
That's not a fair sample size.
Jared Allen,
the best player.
Jared Allen.
I don't think MJ was going into game saying I got to worry about these guys.
No, I'm not saying that. No. What I'm saying is this. I'm saying that it's not. Hold on. I'm saying that
let's talk about those shooting guards, Damo. Hell yeah, let's
talk about those shooting guards. Let's talk about them. John Starks.
What are you talking about? Okay.
Joe Dumars.
Respect John Starks.
Joe Dumars and Jared Allen. Joe Dumars, defensive guard. Jared Allen, defensive big. You want to do a player?
Okay. Joe Dumars.
Come on now.
Okay, Jalen.
I'm saying.
Oh, because I'm sorry. I think the logic here is because we're talking about today's game where guys are just buckets. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about today's game where guys are just buckets, when in reality, teams was building units. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, because if we were, that would be the only explanation for why we don't respect today's bigs. Because defensively, a lot of these bigs are competent. Porzingis is competent. Embiid, Wendell Carter, Brook Lopez, Giannis, Miles Turner. There's a bunch of bigs that can start listing up as good defensive or good rebounding bigs, but we don't care about them because they don't score. Jalen Duren, Daniel Gafford plays defense. Mitchell Robinson plays defense. Nicholas Claxton obviously plays defense. Mark Williams, Jarrett Allen, Jakob Poeltl, Bam Adebayo. There's a bunch of bigs. We could go down the whole NBA of bigs who are tough defensive matchup. But because they don't average 22 points a game, we don't care.
Not even that. Because it's Nikola Jokic. Because it's Nikola Jokic, it doesn't matter.
No, but that's my problem. Hold on, Mark. That's the problem with what you're saying. See, this is what you don't understand. You think that you won the test. You think that you passed the test, but you really failed. You got an F. And I'm going to tell you why. You ain't get an A. You got an F, right? And I'm going to tell you why. It does matter. And I'm going to tell you, hold on. I'm going to tell them why it does matter, but I'm telling why you got a straight F on this test. It does matter what you're doing on the other end. And here's why. When we watch Hakeem have to play Pat Ewing, Shaq, and all those other guys, it's one thing if you're defensively great. It's another thing when I got to guard you too. So guess what? He only have to play one end of the court because all those one-dimensional guys you talked about, he ain't even got to worry about them on the other end. He ain't got to worry about them going off for 30 and hurting him on a nightly basis. Back in that day, I'm talking about with the 90s, you had to worry about that. Today with the guard play, I got to worry about the other guard going off for 30. So I actually have to guard him. Jokic gets let off the hook most nights. And that's why I said he only got to play AD, Sabonis, and Joel Embiid. Those are his 3 premier guys in the league.
Are we discrediting Giannis too?
That's not.
No, I'm saying, well, Giannis ain't a center. Giannis ain't a center. He ain't guarding him. Brook Lopez is a center. So that's what I'm saying. So when you look at that, right? So all I'm saying is this to y'all, Bob. Bob, you know this because you play basketball. It's different, Bob, if you're a defensive guy and I ain't got to worry about you offensively.
I get what you're saying. I just think that the bigs,
30. Huh?
I hear what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. Like if I don't got to worry about you on the offensive end, it gives it. I can take a load off. But I personally think that the bigs in the NBA are a little better than you do. I guess. I mean, they're not Hakeem and Patrick and David Robinson and Shaq and Rick Smith. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
no. Well, Rick Smith was the worst. Rick Smith was the worst, and he was still giving you 15 a game along with around 10 rebounds. That was the worst.
I fuck with Rick Smith.
I'm saying that was one of the worst. That was one of the worst. That was one of the worst. When y'all say Nick Claxton, you think Jokic is really worried about fucking Nick Claxton? Nick Claxton ain't finna score no buckets like that. Nick Claxton at his best gonna give you 12, 15 points. He ain't worried about that. So what does Jokic get to do? He get to have a vacation and do whatever he want to do on defense.
In Chilltown, that's why I had the reaction I had about.
First of all, that's not the point I was making. The point I was making was Chilltown said it's not all about buckets. So I said, well, clearly it has to be about buckets because that's what we're talking about. Why we don't respect these bigs, and also the way the game has changed. Yes, Jokic might not have to match up in the post against Nicholas Claxton. But the game is about floor spacing, high pick and roll. He's guarding these guards. That's what he has to do. He has to play on the perimeter against these guards. That's what he has to do.
Super chat when you're done.
Sure. That's what he has to do on defense. It's not about, does he have to match up against this big and bang down low? Maybe he doesn't have to do that against Hakeem and those guys. Cool. But what he has to do is defend in space on the perimeter on a night in and night out basis. He has to defend the Steph Curry pick and roll. He has to defend the Damian Lillard pick and roll. He has to defend Tyrese Maxey in space. He has to defend Colin Sexton in space. That's what he has to do. So maybe it looks different, but he's having to exert energy on defense.
He doesn't step up. That's a lot. He doesn't step up on defense. He always plays the field. He doesn't stay. He ain't stepping up, hedging on all those screens and helping defend all those guys on the perimeter. That's a goddamn. Hold on, that's a goddamn lie.
My point was, and that's a valid point you're making. But my point was when you got these two guards that were the best defenders in the game at this point. These guards were the best defenders in the game, and they were put together to slow him down specifically, slow him down, and he was torching these dudes, straight torching them. It diminishes how good these guys actually were, when in reality, they were awesome. I mean, we talking about the defensive player of the year. The first years that it was given out, it was two guards, and Mike was torching these dudes. And what it does is it diminishes how good these guys actually were. So now you're looking at, Jordan didn't have to deal with DeMar DeRozan, and he didn't have to deal with Devin Booker, and he didn't have to deal with none of the. If Jordan had to deal with Devin Booker today, he would still fry Devin Booker. Would Devin Booker fry him?
Yes.
Would Devin Booker fry?
Yes.
Would Devin Booker fry?
Devin Booker would give him 50 points. What are you talking about?
You are nothing to say something like that. We're talking about an elite.
Jordan gonna look over his shoulder. Jordan gonna look over his shoulder after he had 25 in the first half and say, "Hey, Scotty, hey, Scotty, get him. Scotty, get him." Scotty, get him.
So Jordan
get him. Let me get DeRozan.
Jordan was defensive player of the year, and he was first team all defense. But goddamn,
that nigga was a glorified safety, nigga.
Man, get out.
Pippen was on niggas. Pippen was on niggas. Jordan was blindside blocking and off ball stealing. Man, get out of here.
Bullshit right here. This is bullshit right here, yo.
I agree with Donovan, man. Donovan picking out on stage.
You know what?
Yo, fellas, everybody screaming. Go ahead, everybody screaming. Go ahead, chill. Go ahead.
Cam Thomas giving him 45. Stop.
You go with him, Mars. Hey, Mars, since he going straight to hell, you go with him.
No, that's cool. I agree. Hey, he couldn't say in front of a crossover against Allen Iverson.
So let me make sure I'm getting this correct. So a guy in Allen Iverson who crossed them up, who basically crossed everybody up, which the NBA was looking at this like this might be illegal. And this was in year 12 when Jordan ran up on him. This wasn't like this was in year 1 or 2 or year 5. This is in year 12. So Devin Booker, who right now I believe is in year 8, is frying Michael Jordan, who is it? So 1993 Michael Jordan, literally Devin Booker is frying him.
No. Hey, chill down.
Where it's 40 a game in the finals. It's the same.
Yes.
Okay.
I
am not trolling. Whoa. This is why I ain't gonna lie to you. This is why I feel like people got to do their homework when it comes to me. I am not trolling. I genuinely believe Michael Jordan. That is my knock on Jordan. I think he's an overrated defender, in my opinion. I think when you have Scottie Pippen, who took, I promise you, and maybe I was lied to growing up because my OGs was telling me how Jordan played in the 90s since I wasn't alive to watch it. But when majority of the time, Scottie Pippen guarded the best perimeter player. And the best players of that era, if you're talking about the top 10 to 15 of the best players of the 90s, majority of them are big men. So Dennis Rodman or Horace Grant or Luke Longley or Bill Cartwright are guarding the other better players.
Okay, so stop right there.
Okay,
so stop right there. Here's the difference with that, Damo. You're talking about a guy in Scottie Pippen who was guarding the best perimeter player later on. Just so you know, he didn't turn into that until like year 4 or 5. Who you think was guarding the best perimeter players up until that point? It was Jay. Who you think?
When did they start winning? Wait. In what year of Scottie Pippen's career did they start winning? Year what?
Year 4.
So in year 4 or 5, when he became the guy to guard the best perimeter player, is when they started winning.
But
Surprise!
But he wasn't. Whoa. But he wasn't just guarding the best. He wasn't always guarding the best perimeter player, because Jordan was dealing with Clyde Drexler during that time. Yes, he was having to deal with Clyde Drexler.
If he wanted to.
No, not if he wanted to. He did deal with Clyde Drexler during that time and clearly outplayed him. And slowed him down. And slowed him down. And we're talking about Jay simply as a defender, ain't we? We ain't talking about him as an overall player, Damo. We're talking about him simply. We're talking about him simply as a player. We're talking about Michael Jordan, who played at the University of North Carolina with the fundamentals that are world class and brought that into the NBA. Playing weak side defense, being a one-on-one defender, knowing how to keep a guy in front of you, knowing how to shield a guy, knowing how when a guy is attacking your top foot to drag that foot, knowing how to stay on the balls of your feet, knowing how to keep your hands moving. This was Michael Jordan coming into the league as a defender, and it translated to one of the best defenders, perimeter defenders that the NBA has ever seen. So to say that he was overrated as a defender, that is nuts, Damo.
Damo, you never went back and watched?
I'm not gonna lie. Go back and watch who?
I'm saying you could have went back and watched, like when you was younger. You didn't have to just listen to people.
I did go back and watch. I went back and watched a couple games. I didn't go back and watch Soda Scott Griffey. Fuck that nigga. I went back and watched a couple games though. On top of me asking questions to the people that were there, who again, if they lied to me, then they lied to me.
Well,
when I went back and watched, when I watched games as well, I seen what the hell I'm talking about. I seen Scottie guarding better perimeter players, and I seen the bigs who are the better players of that era not being guarded by Jordan. So if that's the case, give me some of these names of these guys that Michael Jordan was guarding religiously on the perimeter that were killers. Who are these guys? Let me hear some names.
Let's see here.
Dominique Wilkins. Let's keep going. Grant Hill. I'm gonna get him to tell Grant Hill. Let's keep going. Dominique Wilkins. Grant. Say what?
Grant Hill was cooking Jordan a lot of those times.
No, he wasn't. Just so you know, from 19. So when Jordan got back on the crew, just real quick, when Jordan got back on the crew in 1995-96, those 3 years when they played against Detroit, Grant Hill averaged, quote, I want to make sure that people in the back hear me so I can say it loud enough. Grant Hill averaged 22 a game. That's it. 22 a game against the Bulls in those 3 years.
22 like 8-8? 22 8-8?
No, 22 6-6. 22 a game.
That's great. 22 is cool.
Oh, just so you know,
22 6-6?
Just so you know, Scottie Pippen averaged the same thing against him.
I mean, that's Scottie.
What does Scottie got to do with this?
But yeah, I don't even think MJ was Grant Hill's.
I was gonna say, what that Scottie guarding?
No, that was Scottie Pippen. But
what does Grant Hill got to do with this?
Y'all brought up Grant Hill. I ain't say Grant Hill.
I Ticket brought up Grant Hill. I asked who was Jordan guarding on the perimeter. That's all I want. Just give me the name.
I'm talking about guys like Mitch Richmond. I'm talking about guys like Clyde Drexler. Let's see, whoever. Dan Marley was another one.
Okay, so Dan Marley compared to guards today?
Knockdown shooter. How awesome would Dan Marley be in today's game? The long ball shooter that he is, the athlete that he is. Dan Marley would be fantastic in this game. No, he wouldn't be. Absolutely. And he would be fantastic. Guys, Joe Dumas, guys like that. Come on, man. Jordan was a fantastic defender. Yes, he was.
I think Jordan was very good.
And having to deal with guys like that.
When I say overrated, you think I'm meaning, oh, he overrated. That means he sucks.
No, I don't mean. I don't
hold on. But when I say overrated, I need people to stop being so reactionary. I'm the guy that's emotional, but people get a reactionary when they hear certain words, trigger words they like to call them in the social justice warrior community. Buddy, when I say, and I'm not talking Buddy in the chat, I'm just saying in general, but when I say Jordan is an overrated defender, if the standard or if the normal narrative is Jordan is an all-time defender, Jordan is an all-time guard defender, Jordan is one of the best guard defender, perimeter defenders, if I'm saying he's overrated, that means I don't think he's that. I still think he was a tremendous off-ball defender. He was a great team defender. Like I said, he was a glorified safety.
It's actually the other way. It's actually the other way, Damo. It's actually the other way. Flip it around.
Again, maybe I need to just watch. Maybe
it's
I need
actually
to do my
flipped around
due
because
diligence.
Jordan was a fantastic on-ball defender. The problem Jay had was Jay fell asleep a lot of times when he had to play against shooters, and he was not there.
Personally, I think it's easy to look like a tremendous on-ball defender when you're not guarding that much on-ball talent. I think it makes it easy. I would look like a defensive savant guarding Bruce Bowen standing in the corner.
You're dealing with guys like Mitch Richmond. You're dealing with guys like Clyde Drexler. You're dealing with guys like Reggie Miller, right? You're dealing with guys like Reggie Lewis. Let's see.
Like Glenn I said, Wright, Grant Hill, Dominique Wilkins. You keep going, man. Glenn Rice. All these
guys like that. I mean, Ron Harper was a 20-a-game scorer before he tore his knee up. These are the kind of guys this is the kind of guy that these are the kind of guys that Jay had to deal with throughout the course of his career early on, before Scottie Pippen turned into what he turned into. These are the guys that Jay had to deal with, and he was frying these dudes, frying them. And the way the game is today, don't get me wrong, the skill set is a lot different and it's a lot more advanced. I will give you that, Damo, 100%. But I think that the guys today, I think that if these dudes played today, I think that they would be just as successful. I do.
I wish I saw the MJ you guys saw. It sounds like
I do too.
I wish I saw that.
It sounds like a tremendous player, but when I go back and watch, I just, for the most part, I don't. Matter of fact, Chilltown, since you know, give me a set of series I should watch or particular games I should watch that shows this. Because when I went back and watched what I watched, I didn't see necessarily that. I seen it on occasion, but I did not see that religiously. And again, I'm going based off of what my grandfather and my uncle and my dad told me from what they saw. So I'm not trying to sit here and make it seem like I watched all MJ play. I'm a hater. I ain't even watched The Last Dance yet. I can't watch that nigga. So I'm not going to act like I watched him play a ton. I watched a couple games and went by what the people who were there told me. If they're liars, cool. Just say they're liars. I preference myself saying that this entire time. That's it. So give me the games I should watch. Chat, y'all talking about I ain't watched Jordan bet. Tell me the Jordan I should watch.
So we'll start with the 89 first-round playoff series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Go take a look at that series. He was fantastic in that series on both the offensive and the defensive end. Go watch in 1991 the Philadelphia series when they played them in the second round. Also, go watch watch the whole Eastern 91. Yeah, 1991 when they played the Knicks, when they played the Knicks, when they played Philadelphia, and when they played Detroit. He was fantastic in all three of those series. 1992, I think 93, the Eastern Conference Championship. He was able to get it together. But 92, go watch that New York Knicks series against the Knicks in 1992. That was the semifinals. That was a great series. And 93. And 92, the Eastern Conference Championship against Cleveland. Those series, that's just to name a few series that I'm thinking about off the top of my head. Those were great series.
Can we say in the NBA Finals, Jordan never had to guard any super elite scorer, like throughout the entire series?
In the NBA Finals,
yeah, because I look back like the Phoenix series when he averaged that 40. Right. He wasn't really, he didn't really have to guard anyone. I would say like all his NBA Finals, he never had to guard anyone's kind of a super.
Dan Molly did break the record for threes.
I mean, he guarded Magic Johnson. I know Magic Johnson is not an elite scorer, but he guarded Magic Johnson.
He did guard Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson was able to get him in foul trouble. That's why the switch came with Scottie Pippen.
Wait,
that's why they had to switch.
Was Kevin Johnson not on that Phoenix team that went to the finals?
Yes, Kevin Johnson was on that team.
Who guarded Kevin Johnson?
BJ Armstrong was covering him.
Of course he did.
BJ Armstrong was covering him.
Yeah. The way Phoenix played, just that don't even count as defense. I don't care.
Yeah, BJ Armstrong was covering him. But I'm sorry if I brought this up. Ron, you was talking about super chats. I think that Damo, we can respectfully agree to disagree on this.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my homework and watch those series. OG, trust me, I will.
Y'all go ahead and vote on that poll on whether you guys think Jordan was an overhyped defender, or was it just that the '90s guards were subpar, or was it just the fact that he played with other good defenders? Y'all let me know. But keeping it pushing along these super chats, and that was actually a good debate. I'm glad y'all got into that. But we got other things to talk about. King Shada with the super chat said, "You guys doing another Black Friday special? Last year's was heat. Also, need to start sending these guys the worst teams in the league rather than giving them what they want every single time."
Well, remember, when these dudes get traded, remember, they're not just trading James Harden to Detroit if it doesn't work for them. If Detroit was willing to give up Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, hell yes, Philadelphia is doing that. 100%. They're doing that. If Oklahoma, not Oklahoma City, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Charlotte. If Charlotte is willing to give up LaMelo and Mark Williams, yes, Philly is doing that. They're not trading him to teams where it just works for him. No, this got to work for us too.
Just him. They got Nick Batum and Robert Covington
and a bunch of draft picks.
I just thought the James Harden trade value was that high.
I think they got one first and 2 seconds.
Yeah, they got one draft.
They got two. They got two pick swaps. They got two pick swaps. And Robin Covington. They got 2 1s, 2 2s, and I think and 2 picks.
I didn't know they got 2 1s. I didn't know they got 2 1s.
Yeah,
I know they got the 28 first round pick, which is unprotected, which could be a good pick because Kawhi will probably be out of the league by then.
Right.
So that could be a good pick, but for 1 year of James Harden, because that's another. The bad teams aren't going to trade for James Harden on a rental. Like, there's no reason for them to do that.
No reason.
So you can't just send them somewhere if they don't offer a trade package. So you have to send. Maybe the Clippers are the only team offering something. So maybe that's the only team you can send.
And with James Harden's antics, you don't know if he'll even play for the bad teams.
Yeah, that's why when players say I want to go here, that's strategic because they know if they try and push where they want to go, it's going to make other teams reluctant to want to enter the bidding wars because they know the player doesn't even want to be there. That's why Toronto took a risk when they took Kawhi, and it paid off. They got a ring, but he left. Mm-hmm. And the Bucks took a risk when they went for Damian Lillard because everyone knows he wanted to go to Miami, but they decided to enter the race, and then Portland traded him to Milwaukee instead of Miami. So,
and the Milwaukee thing works because Dame is under contract. When you are like James Harden, where you're in the last year of your deal, like you talked about being a rental, teams are reluctant to do that because if I got this dude on a 1 year deal, Utah ain't giving Philly Kessler Walker and the kid from Kansas on a 1 year James Harden. Hell no, they ain't doing that. That's not going to work for them. No way.
Also, too, Ox, you got to factor in James Harden didn't exactly have the best trade value or market just in general. Like nobody wanted James Harden except for the Clippers and a couple other teams possibly. So with Philly, with Philly, it's kind of like I got to take what I could get. Also, too, though, this was my thing is it's layers to this whole Philly thing, and I haven't got a chance to really get into this. But it's like, okay, so we know we didn't get Terrence Mann. No, we didn't get Brandon Boston. No, we didn't get Bones Highland. We would have loved to get them younger players. Didn't get them, whatever. We still got some guys that can come in and fill in and play good minutes for us right now and help us contend right now. What we did do is get rid of our cancer. So, and that's why I said less is more. They got rid of more technically talent-wise, and they got less back, but it's going to help them right now more than James Harden would have being on the sideline, being in Houston, doing whatever else he was doing. Also, too, though, I'm pretty sure Philly has a backup plan. They just, I think they have, if I'm not mistaken, either 40-something million in cap space or 60-something million. It was one of those two. So now they have the potential to go get a big fish in free agency next year. All in all, though, they still have Joel Embiid where if everything just collapses, okay, we have our franchise guy in Maxey. Joel Embiid's going to get us a crazy haul back. They can still unload Tobias Harris. They'll be able to get a little something back from Tobias Harris. So they still do have an out if everything doesn't go as planned.
That's the only move they got. They have to trade Joel Embiid. I think they're solid right now. And on top of that, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many more years of Joel Embiid do they got at this level? 3 tops?
3-4 years, yeah.
I want to go 2-3. They don't got time. They don't got time to.
Only
29. They don't got time.
His knees
it don't matter if he was 24. I'm talking about this version of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, he's got about 3 left. Maybe. They can't waste this one.
So they was wasting it with James Harden.
And they're wasting it without James Harden. You get what I'm saying? Like this year, they're not competing for a championship right now. So if you're not competing for a championship, you're wasting Joel Embiid. You got to do something now.
Yep. Just because you don't believe in them, just because I don't believe in them, they absolutely believe that they're competing for a championship. They got the league. They got the league. They got the league MVP.
It's no way that Daryl Morey and who's the coach, Nick Nurse. It's no way that those two are sitting at the table this morning. There's no way they sat at the table this morning with their eggs Benedict and all that, whatever they're eating for breakfast and coffee and whatnot. And we're like, you know what? We can still win the championship.
They're number 2 in the East right now. Just so
I don't think that's ridiculous for them to think that.
Number 2 in the East right now.
That's ridiculous.
Come on, don't do this.
I know that's nuts to say that, but I'm just putting it out there, big guy.
Don't do this.
Hey, Philly really got a good team. They have a really good team. They have one of the most dominant forces in the NBA.
I want to make sure we clear on that before we go any further. I'm out on Philly, but
I'm out on Philly if they about to run an all small forward lineup. Like I don't.
You don't respect versatility.
Versatility. They didn't even get versatile wings. They got 3 wings that are relatively doing the same thing. Two doing the same thing in a sense. KJ doing his own thing, but you already added them to a team with a plethora of other small forwards. I don't get it. I don't know how we're trying to dominate the league with 17, 6'8" niggas.
Shit. It's Nick Nurse, the Raptors.
Right? You know how we played.
And I meant to say that too. I believe in Nick Nurse. I believe in Nick Nurse. We've seen him before.
I'm saying that is way different having 17, 6'8", like 22 to 28-year-olds versus having 17, 6'8", 50-year-olds. I'm just because they 6'8" don't mean it's gonna work. I don't trust him.
Yeah, you better respect.
Right. Hey, we just gonna have to see.
Though. I fuck with Maxey. You fuck with Embiid. I don't
fuck
with nobody else.
Maxey gonna be that.
I really do. I really fuck with Tyrese Maxey. I do. I said it last season. I really like Tyrese Maxey. It's just that's not enough. You can like a player and still understand like this team isn't going past the first round.
They're making the finals.
All right, Sean. King Shotta asked about the Black Friday event. Hey, BF2 coming soon. Black Friday 2 coming soon. Y'all stay prepared. We're gonna drop details on that coming very soon. But moving along, Purple Political Breakdown said tickets said the Wizards are playing. Jordan Poole's the next Steph Curry. Wemby's averaging 27, and now Cam Thomas is the best scorer in the NBA. Dude is the Kendrick Perkins of PC with these hot takes.
I don't think any of them are bad takes.
I mean, hey, man, what's Wemby averaging? Another super chat that put up Wemby's average right now.
15.7.
15.7. Ticket that 1,000, baby. That 1,000 looking real good.
He about to up that average by 10 points over the next course of the season. We
crazy.
Because what he got to play how many games?
55.
55. Nah, ticket finna pull a Nancy Kerrigan.
Go stab him.
Wemby gonna be at 54 games played, averaging 19 points, and ticket. He's just about to magically be injured for the rest of the season.
Oh man.
All right, True Believer 616 said these so-called b-ball fans that say MJ had no comp or was overrated as a defender all have damn biased agenda.
You absolutely right, nigga. You absolutely right.
Doma's a notorious hater, so sure. But I don't get why saying MJ's an overrated defender is a bad thing to say. If I've heard MJ's a top 10 defender of all time, and I've heard he's the best guard defender of all time, I think I'm well within my right to say he's an overrated defender.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You'll say he's better than prime Kawhi Leonard on defense. I think that's overrating him. I don't get how that's wrong of me to say I think he's overrated because I don't think he's better than prime Kawhi or a top 10 defender of all time. I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's a great defender, elite defender, all-time great defender. I just don't think he's top 10.
I promise you, I never said he was bad. Never once I said he was ass on defense. I literally just said he was overrated in a very emotional way. But I said he was overrated, and they got the Jordan fans. I just need everybody to realize, chat. Understand? I made all my Jordan criticisms, and there was one name I never said to devalue Michael Jordan. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, suckers. Just realize that. My criticisms of Michael Jordan were based solely on Michael Jordan, basketball, and what I seen or heard about Michael Jordan and basketball. It wasn't narratives based on anybody else, comparing any other player. It wasn't none of that. I stuck to my points of Michael Jordan. Eat my ass.
A lot of people, when they hear overrated, immediately the first thing that they think when they hear overrated is, not that good. He wasn't good. Well, wait a minute. No. If you think he was overrated, where do you have him rated? I'm thinking, me and Mars had this conversation. I think at prime Kawhi Leonard, I think prime Michael Jordan was a better perimeter defender. We had this conversation. Mars thinks he's overrated. I don't.
All right, that's that. MP13 sent through a super chat and said, let's be real. If we ask those 90 centers if they would rather guard the post or have to guard 100 high pick and rolls and guard in space every game, they'd gladly take post defense.
I still think
Patrick Ewing is struggling against Steph Curry.
And I wasn't saying that Jokic switches every pick and roll. That's not what I was saying. So for anyone who's like, oh, he doesn't switch on Steph, I wasn't saying that. You still have to defend the pick and roll, whether you're hedging, whether you're showing, whatever you're doing. That's still taking a toll on you physically when you're 6'11", 280, having to do that every damn possession.
Right.
Like, I'm not 6'11", 280, but I can envisage that would take a toll on you. And that's something that those bigs at that time didn't have to do. They were kind of anchored to the paint. And they had a hard, it's hard to bang down low as well. I've seen Anthony Davis try bang with Yusuf Nurkic and he was holding his ribs after one possession. So trust me, I can understand. That's also hard. I'm just saying they have different difficulties. So to compare, well, Jokic doesn't go against big, so he's really taking plays off on defense. They didn't have to go up against these explosive guards. So I just think it's about they're going through different difficulties, but it's difficult nonetheless.
And guys came off screen, and guys played pick and roll back then. Stockton and Malone played pick and roll. I mean, Mark Price knocked down the long ball. Dale Ellis knocked down the long ball. Chris Mullin played in pick and roll. It just wasn't at the volume that it is today. That's basically all guys run today. I mean, they still had to play like that back then, and you still had to guard. That's why Shaq struggled in the pick and roll. That's why Utah owned them early. Utah owned the Lakers because Shaq struggled in the pick and roll. They did everything that they could to put Shaq in pick and roll situations. They, in fact, went after Shaq in pick and roll situations. If you watch those 97, 98 NBA playoffs against the Utah Jazz, they did everything that they could to go after Shaq particularly. So, I mean, guys did play against pick and roll back then. It's just that it wasn't at the volume, and not everybody struggled. Not everybody struggled. Sure, Shaq did struggle in the pick and roll, but not everybody did.
And when asked, would I rather heads on a guard that I know is going to take a dribble pull up or go to the rim than stay on the block and bang with Patrick Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal all day? Go ahead. I'm jumping out on that hedge.
Hell yes. You don't want to deal with someone on the box all night.
Single
Hell
time.
no.
Yes, I would gladly do that. I'm an athlete. I don't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? They're athletes. They don't have no problem moving my feet. Yeah, I'm not as quick as you. Right. I'm not as quick as you, but it doesn't take a toll on my body or a toll on my heart when a guard shoots the ball or goes past me. I don't give a damn. I'm playing basketball. But do I want to stick to this monster all day? No, I do not.
In the words of Damo talking about Damian Lillard, how many threes you want him to hit, Damo? How many? No, make 9 threes. I'm all ears for that. But every trip. Tell Damian Lillard to shoot 9 threes. Meanwhile, Big Ox's eyes this big because he's looking at Kenny Smith like, damn, they coming to Olajuwon again. I got to cover this dude on the box again. Damn, here come Penny Hardaway. They going to Shaq again. I got to deal with this dude again. And ain't nobody helping you neither. It's just you and him.
Just watching me.
Right, it's just you and him. Ain't nobody helping you. Dame, this is what you do, Dame. Knock down 8 threes. Knock yourself out. I'll hedge a little bit.
Yo, Chilton, I'm gonna be tapping Shaq on his arm like, hey, big fella, go sit down and scream.
Come on, yo, you straight.
We don't gotta do this all day. Big fella, he needs you. Go free him up there.
Ant Talks Hoops with the super chat says start Russ, bench Harden.
Start both of them.
I think Russ probably moves to the bench.
Starting both of them is crazy.
Hardwood heavyweights said, can y'all respect my Mavs now? Luka for MVP.
He been the MVP, no doubt. Luka's
if this is what I ain't gonna lie, everybody been talking about some. Oh man, if that's what you need for LeBron for the Lakers to win, y'all ain't doing shit. If that's what y'all need from Luka to just make the play-in, oh well, buddy. I'll see y'all in the lottery.
They're second in the West.
Currently, yes, they are.
Like what? Hey, I promise you, I think it's more sustainable to have LeBron trying to close out games and have Luka legit dropping Luka magic every night for 82 games. I don't think that's sustainable.
I do think eventually
Kyrie. The top MVP 3 in the NBA is going to be all European, man. I'm telling you,
the Kyrie magic will show up eventually. The Kyrie magic. I know he didn't play last game, but the Kyrie magic.
Will it though? Will it though? Are you sure? Because
right now the games they played together, yeah, Kyrie it's looking off. Like something about those two playing together is not looking right. Like they seem a little confused of what to do when Luka has the ball. What Kyrie?
Luka does not look confused at all. Luka doesn't look confused.
So like when he has the ball, Kyrie looks a little confused, on the floor. They got to work out how to play together. But I do think eventually when Luka does have those bad games, Kyrie's the guy who can get you 30, 40 on any given night. And I think that will happen, especially the playoffs. If Luka does have a down game, even though he's incredible in the playoffs, I think they'll figure it out. They'll be fine.
The interesting thing about Luka is shots that those shots that Luka takes, anybody else takes those shots. Those are bad shots, but they ain't bad shots for Luka because he can make those shots. Sidestep 26 feet away from the basket, getting downhill, right? Getting the guy on his hip, and not just getting the guy on his hip, keeping him there, and then getting to the bucket. Luka is definitely one of the best playmakers in the game. Arguably the best scorer in the game. He's been fantastic these last couple of games. 100%.
Luka, even though he's not the quickest, he knows how to use his body to create space for himself.
Yes, he does.
He knows how to use.
He does. Yes, and the other thing about Luka that I don't give him enough credit in, even though I'm on record being very critical about Luka not being able to take care of his body. Luka is a lot bigger than what people think he is. What's Luka, 6'8"? Like Luka is not a small dude. So at 6'8", getting into the teeth of the defense, when I just like Big Ox said, having to deal with Olajuwon on the box. If I'm dealing with Luka, bodying me all game, eventually I'm going to wear down if I'm not prepared for that kind of contact all game. And Luka has that kind of game where he basically wears you down because he ain't super duper athletic, right? He's not blowing your doors off with athleticism and stuff like that. He's what Luka reminds me of is a boa constrictor. He's just going to slowly choke you out. That's what he's going to do. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it.
I know one thing. If Luka keeps this up, I'm heavily considering it. They're moving up my player rankings. I'm heavily considering.
At worst, he's 2. I'm not going to put him above Jokic. Because Jokic is just.
If Luka's not in your top 5, I feel like there has to be some level of bias against him at this point.
How can Luka not be a top 5 player? There's no satisfactory answer you can give me to tell me that Luka is not a top 5 player in the game.
It's a satisfactory answer.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Ron. I'm all ears.
I got him at 5.
That's the point. Like, I get if you say Giannis, cool, I get it. Jokic, cool, I get it. If you say Steph, still cool, I get it. If you're very high on Kawhi Leonard when healthy, I guess. After that, I feel like you're pushing somewhere.
Joel Embiid.
No way.
Over Luka?
No
what? So that's not a conversation.
What's the argument for Embiid? Go ahead.
What do you mean? What's the argument for Embiid?
What's the argument for Embiid?
He's defense, size, dominance. He can score the ball too. I don't like what rebounding. What are we talking about?
I feel like the defense argument
kind of just go together, but sure, I guess.
Okay, size, dominance.
Well, he's bigger and plays defense.
I'm just saying. I think.
No, I'm talking. When it comes to scoring, he scores at the same rate that Luka does. If I'm not mistaken, he led the National Basketball Association in scoring last year.
Yeah, because Luka played a game where
his team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, because Luka had a game where he played 3 minutes and got hurt, so it brought down his average. He actually would have won the scoring title if that game didn't happen. But that's besides the point. So let's say they're equal as scorers for the sake of argument. Let's say they're equal as scorers. We'll just ignore the fact that Luka scores exponentially better in the playoffs. We'll ignore that. Say they're equal as scorers. Offensively, we can all agree Luka Doncic is one of the 5 best offensive players in the world. We can all agree.
You don't even got to say that, Moss. He's better than Embiid. You don't even have to say that.
He's better than Embiid, and it's noticeable because he's a better passer, better playmaker, better decision maker, isn't flustered by double teams, blah, blah, blah. Better offensive player. Defensively, we can all agree Embiid is better than Luka, right? We can all agree?
Yes.
But we also can all agree that Joel Embiid, his motor defensively, is questionable. So he's not bringing that defensive impact every night. Whereas Luka offensively, we understand he's bringing that defensive offensive impact every single night. Leading that Dallas Mavericks offense to one of the best offenses in the league when he's on the floor. Consistently in the playoffs, he's showing up and performing, unlike Joel Embiid. The injury concerns are much lower with Luka Doncic. He shoots the ball better than Joel Embiid from mid-range, from 3 combined. Free throw shooter, I guess. Cool. My fault. He creates a shot better than Joel Embiid. Like,
I disagree. I 1,000% disagree. I 1,000% disagree. If I'm not mistaken, Chill just said Luka shoots shots that would be a bad shot for anybody else. Does he make tougher shots? Yes. Does he create a shot more? No.
Better than Embiid?
Yeah, Joel Embiid has the ability to get on the block and score anytime he wants to.
So does Luka.
Anytime he
Luka scores on the block.
Not like Joel. Not like Joel.
Why y'all just walking over the cone factor?
Why are we walking over there and acting like it's not a big deal? You just said, "Oh, he doesn't play defense, but let's focus on offense." Like, we're talking about basketball.
That's fine. You can say, but I personally, I don't believe the value that Embiid's bringing on defense supplements what Luka's bringing on offense. And Joel Embiid doesn't post up way more than Luka. Like, if I wanted to get statistics,
I didn't say he posts up more. I said
Should.
he's better on the block than Luka.
Let's get
Definitely
statistical.
should though.
4.5 post up per game last season for Joel Embiid. 3.5
Man,
for
Mars,
Luka.
I don't
3.5
care about them numbers. Joel Embiid is a better player in the post than Luka.
I'm not arguing.
You can throw out numbers and efficiency and all of this.
You said for verbatim, Embiid can get on the block and get a bucket whenever he wants. I said so can Luka.
Can.
That's what I said. Statistically, the proof is there. I test for me, the proof is there. Your eyes just don't see the same thing. Luka, every time he's in the post, he's a mismatch because he's a guard.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
Whatever he wants every time he's in the post.
And Luka doesn't have guards guarding him. Luka doesn't have. He has dudes his size that guard him. Like it's not. If he's taking advantage of mismatches, okay, that's amazing. But he still has, like, Luka still for the most part will have bigger dudes guarding him. With that being said, I'm not still saying that he won't give bigger dudes buckets. I'm just saying, like, don't say he has guards guarding him.
But even
That's
if it's
when
not
he
that,
goes in the post when he has
but real
guards
quick,
on him.
Even if it's not that, Luka is still better in the post than Joel Embiid.
I disagree.
The playmaking aspect.
I'm about to say thank you. The
if you say the playmaking, okay, I'm talking about just
that's-
scoring. I'm just talking about block work.
That's the issue. We're not talking about the actual totality of the post. We're having to take things out to benefit Embiid. The fact that he can't play out of a double team in the post is why Luka's better down there. Luka, if you can't double team him because he can make every single pass possible. With Embiid, you know, the moment he puts that ball on the floor and you double team him, he's flustered. He's gonna turn the ball over. He's gonna shoot over a double team, or he's gonna mess something up.
And I'll take Joel shooting over double teams. And I'll take that. I mean, it clearly led them leading the league in scoring last year. Double teams, triple teams, whatever. I'll take that from the biggest, strongest, most dominant player on the floor. I will take that.
You're proving my point. The reason why the argument for Embiid has to come at some bias or nonsense against Luka, because let me just take
Mars. What do you when you are a big man and you get the ball down low, go up and score. When Shaq gets the ball, go up and score. David Robinson, go up and score. I'm not talking about okay, and I get that. You do want to make correct passes and you do want to make good reads. If a dude's open, get him the ball. If a dude's right under the hoop, get him the ball. Get the ball to the open man. But also, when you're a big man and you catch the ball within 8 feet of the hoop, go score the fucking ball. You don't need to be trying to pass the ball. Go score the ball. It's the reason why you're posting up. Go get a bucket.
No wonder why he struggles in the playoffs so much, because he does that and tries to shoot over those double teams.
There have been quite a few players that a double team doesn't really affect like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't.
Yeah, Joel Embiid
just because the double team comes doesn't mean you have to pass out the double team.
I'm not saying that. But Joel Embiid can't play out of it in any other way because he can't pass out of it. Having the ability to do both is what makes you unstoppable. Because that's why LeBron James is so dangerous in the post now. Because if you do double team, he can punish you with the pass and he can still score because he's got the power game. Embiid has the power game, but because of his inability to pass out of the post, he struggles. That's why in the playoffs, in the post, he struggles.
And why is that?
It doesn't mean he's a bad post player, but it means he's not as good as Luka, because Luka in the post more often than not will create a better shot for himself or for others than Joel Embiid does. And that's not even including everything else Luka does in the half court.
And on top of that, Ron, the reason why Joel Embiid can't pass out of the post is because he doesn't play down there as much. That's one of the main reasons why he can't pass. It's not that he can't pass, because I've seen him pass out of the double team on a perimeter, and he can pass out of the double team on a perimeter because he's on the perimeter all the time. Luka, on the other hand, when he came into the league, he was more polished. He played on the box when he was in the EuroLeague. So he came into the NBA knowing how to play on the block. So he knew how to pass out of the double team. Joel Embiid could do a better job of passing out of the post if he played on the box more. But according to Joel Embiid,
he doesn't play him there more. It's because he can't pass. It's the circular. It's circular. Doc Rivers didn't want to put him there because he can't pass, so he didn't give him the reps to actually learn how to pass. So he just put him at the top, and he could see the defense coming, so it made it easy for him to pass out of double teams. But then guess what? The playoffs came. Teams made him play in the post instead of at the elbow and the free throw line. So then when he was there, he was confused again. That's why you need the reps in the regular season, but he's not being given them. Yeah. And that's why Luka Doncic ultimately is a better post player.
Well, Luka could be a better post player. Y'all can, harp on whatever you want to with Luka. I got Joel Embiid today being better than Luka Doncic. I have him ahead of him in my player rankings. On top of that, this is the last thing I want to end with. If you swap them and you put Luka on the Mavericks, They make the playoffs.
No, we're not doing that.
They go further.
This is why we're not doing that.
I know. I do that because I'm saying this player has the ability to win more games and take this team farther.
Yeah, but that ignores team construct, that ignores what's on the roster. Sometimes the team is just built for someone else.
Right.
Is that team built for Luka?
If I put Kevin Durant on the Lakers instead of AD, they don't win as many games. Does that mean KD is worse than Anthony Davis?
Is that team built for Luka? Is that team built for Luka?
Yes.
Is that team built? Is it built for Joel Embiid?
That team's defense
is it built for Joel Embiid?
Doncic's weakness.
Is it built for Joel Embiid?
Not built for Luka Doncic. That's why they didn't succeed.
Okay, can you answer my question? Is it built for Joel Embiid?
It's better suited for him.
Okay, and that's kind of that, and that's also goes to the point that I'm making. Joel Embiid can go to more situations and be successful than Luka can. Luka's a guy where you have to give him the ball, and it's like do everything else. Joel Embiid. What?
That's what Dallas has with premier guards. He has to go to a team of a premier guards. Dallas have that in Kyrie Irving, but guess what? What they
Joel Embiid can go and be more successful in more teams in the NBA than Luka can.
Ron, understand what better suited in game travels for. Understand what better suited in your game travels mean. KD's game travels. He is not better suited for the Lakers. If he got off that crew and Anthony Davis, if he got on that crew and Anthony Davis was on that crew, he's not better suited for that crew. That doesn't work. If Luka Doncic, the way that they are constructed in Dallas, they constructed that unit around Luka. Now they might have missed on a bunch of different guys, but they also constructed that unit around Joel Embiid's skill set, which is why he's better suited for that unit. Luka, on the other hand, if he gets on Philadelphia, he's not just going to get on there and they start rolling. Because now what has to happen is he's got to get the ball out of his hands. He's got to start. Not only does he have to get the ball out of his hands, he's got to start playing off the basketball way more because you got more ball handlers on the team. They play a lot faster. Luka doesn't play with that much pace. I mean, Luka gets the ball up the floor, but he doesn't play that fast. So that unit might not be suited for Luka's skill set as opposed to Joel Embiid. It's not the same thing.
Like saying a team that lacks rim protection and interior defense would benefit more from the player who brings rim protection and interior defense.
No,
is not proof that he's a better player.
No.
Like Joel Embiid would benefit Golden State more than Luka would too. Guess what? Because they lack size and
he would benefit every team more than Luka would.
No, wait, not
every team.
That's not true.
Cavaliers. So the Cavaliers.
No, it's not true.
You think
the Cavaliers
more than Luka?
Yes.
You put Luka on the Cavs versus Joel Embiid?
Yes.
Yes, the Cavs. I think that was a bad example, John. I think that was a bad example, John.
Every single team Joel Embiid would be better than Luka on, and they would be a better team with Joel Embiid.
Denver.
And I'm not saying this to knock Luka. Like I started this whole thing by saying if Luka keeps this up, he's gonna move up my player rankings. And it's only two players that he could jump for me: Steph Curry and Joel Embiid. I'm saying this to say if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, he has the opportunity in my player rankings to jump him. What I don't like is how I said the Joel Embiid. No. Right now, what I don't like is how I said the Joel Embiid's better than Luka, and you guys all fell out of your chair like this isn't an argument to be had. Like Joel Embiid's not like that. Like he didn't just have 35, 19. Was it 35, 19,
15,
7 blocks and 6 assists?
35 and 15.
So with that being said, Joel's trending up too. I think Joel's going to look way better with Nick Nurse. I think what we've been seeing out of Joel the past couple of years, I think Nick Nurse actually amplifies that, and he brings out the dog in Joel, and he's going to start looking better. But we'll have to see that. But from what he's shown us, it's not crazy to say that. It's not crazy to say that.
I think the argument you made just doesn't make sense.
I said he plays better defense, and he's more dominant. What doesn't make sense about that, Mars? And then you went in he passes better. Well, duh, he passes better.
The ability to score and play in the post. You said, I wanted to shoot over double teams. That doesn't like.
I do want Joel to shoot.
If you swap their teams, that's why I said didn't make sense. I never said the whole thing didn't make sense.
Mars, I started saying that and you just how Bob said it. You skipped over the defense. You ran as far away as you could from the defense.
No, I acknowledged it. I was the one who said we all agree he's a much better
defense.
I acknowledge that. That was very well acknowledged. I said it. What do you mean I ran away from it? I said it. I vocalized that. I said we all agree he's a much better defender. I said that. So how can I run away from something I said?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mars. Legos. The reason why Ron only cares about that is the same reason the same reason why I care about that. Because we've seen everything else in the regular season. That's why. And he folds when the playoffs come. That's why. If he actually performed in the playoffs at a higher level more consistently, then we would talk about him a little bit better. That's the difference. That's why we care about that.
No doubt.
And the word dominant just seems to be given to people who are just strong.
That makes
I
me
don't get what's not.
Is Joel not dominant?
Joel is
If
dominant.
Joel's not dominant, then it's one dominant player in the NBA.
We're missing a point.
And it's
Joel is dominant the same way Steph Curry is dominant.
Right.
Steph Curry dominates NBA games.
It's two different. It's two different dominants.
That's
Two different dominants. Like it's
dominance
dominant.
seems to just go to Giannis and Embiid.
Shaq dominated the game different than Allen Iverson.
But dominance doesn't just mean strong.
And that's a
you
fact.
can dominate games in many ways. I would argue Luka dominates games more than Embiid because what
Embiid's
Luka does
physically dominant. When I say dominant, I mean physically dominant. He's physically dominant. It's nothing you can do with Joel Embiid.
It's crazy how one word changes the whole thing. That's all.
Yeah, he's more physically imposing, but dominance is dominance.
I'm glad you brought that up, Lego.
5-2 or 7-2. You can still dominate.
I'm glad you brought
that's the issue I seem to have with dominance. Because Curry, I think if you don't think Steph Curry is more dominant than Joel Embiid, I don't know what we're talking about. I think Steph Curry dominates way more than Joel Embiid.
And I disagree with that too. Because overall, putting your overall stamp on the game, Joel's on the glass, dominant. Joel's a force on the paint and both ends of the floor. Both ends of the floor.
For that super chat right there that I just read, and Embiid is not, which would explain why I'm out on Philly for that reason right there. Joel Embiid should be a 12 rebound a game guy on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday, he should do that, Ron, and he doesn't. Like when
for his career, he averages 11 rebounds.
When he gets
because he's one rebound short,
when he gets 15 rebounds, it's headline news. When he gets 15 rebounds, that's headline news. That he
averages 11 rebounds for his career.
Right, and
what are we talking about?
He should be rebounding better early on.
Yeah, I'm cool with his rebounding.
I'm not. He should be a better rebounder than what he is. When I watch Olajuwon average almost 13 rebounds for a decade, when I watch Shaq average over 12 rebounds for a decade, and we're talking about this dude being one of the most dominant bigs in the game today, rebounding matters because rebounding is what helps your team win, both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. And Joel Embiid is not nearly the rebounder that he should be.
Luka, relative to position, is a better rebounder than Jolie relative to his position.
No, I'm not doing that.
Relative to your position. Can I just?
I don't.
Are you serious?
These guys getting open rebounds. That's not moving.
Can I just ask?
Luka getting 7 open rebounds is not doing it.
Is Joel Embiid considered soft? Do y'all think Joel Embiid's soft?
No.
That's what we were talking about in the playoffs about how we wouldn't.
I was gonna say, did we call Joel Embiid soft?
Yes, Joel Embiid Joel Embiid has shown plenty of softness before.
I don't like that label in general. I just think that gets thrown around a lot too. The soft.
You don't gotta like it, but if you're getting guarded by a 6'2" point guard,
I think he's considered soft by the majority.
I'm seeing yes. I'm seeing no's.
I'm about to just run a poll.
Just because. I'm just asking because when I look and Showtime's bringing up the rebounding aspect. When I look and it is a 3-game sample size. Everybody, let's just be aware of that. So far this season, a guy that is considered terry cloth because he's very soft is 3rd in the league in rebounds. And I look and Joel Embiid is below Asar Thompson in rebounds. So I'm just saying if Joel Embiid's not soft, but he's being out rebounded by a guard small forward. And AD, who is soft, is 3rd in the league in rebounds. Man, people need to redefine their definitions of soft.
And don't leave out Damo. Last season, he led the league in rebounding for the amount of games he played. He led the league in rebounding. I just want to put that out.
I don't know anybody that's soft that leads the league in rebounding.
I
can't think of one time. He led the league in rebounding?
Who?
He might. I might be
at one point.
Who? Rudy?
I think.
I don't think Rudy's soft.
I
know he's considered soft, and I think he's.
That's crazy.
I think he's considered soft because he's French. You can't think of one hard French dude.
Okay, see, that's
Respect Napoleon.
I would double the
short king. Respect Napoleon. My short king.
A lot of the European just kept
Rudy did lead the rebound, lead in rebound in 21.
That was the year. I think that was the year he won the Defensive Player of the Year too.
22 defensive player was Marcus Smart.
So the year before that, he won the Defensive Player of the Year, and I think he finished like 2nd or something like that. And he was, I think he was in the.
I just don't know if any time where you can have a guy that's leading the league in rebounding, and that's a soft player. I just can't. Just give me an example of any time in the history of NBA a soft big.
But right now, DeAndre Ayton is 2nd. I mean, he leads the league in rebounding.
I don't think he's soft. I think he's trash.
He had 23 rebounds last night, y'all.
He did, but that's because
I just think he's trash. And when you're playing with Scoot Henderson, there's a lot of shots coming off that off the rim. There's a lot of shots.
But Scoot Henderson can't get him the ball. I'm watching Scoot Henderson just to throw an entry pass. So Yeah, he's struggling.
Niggas
That's
saying
the problem.
Dwight Howard. I don't think Dwight Howard was.
Dwight
Just because
Howard's
Kobe
not soft.
said it,
That's
don't
crazy.
make it
There's nobody
fucking
that
wrong.
believes that Dwight Howard was
Dwight
soft.
Howard
No,
was
Dwight
soft.
Howard was not soft. He wasn't.
No.
that's not
Kobe
true.
believed it at one time because they was beefing on the court. Bro,
That's it.
Bro, Kobe's
I don't
word
think
ain't
if you play through injuries, you shouldn't
Thank
be
you.
playing through. I don't think you're soft. Dwight Howard shouldn't have played that year in LA with that back.
And he was an
He
all
played.
NBA level player.
He led the league in rebounding that year. By the way,
Yeah, and it's the
still
same
shouldn't
thing with
have
Embiid.
been out
Embiid has had series-ending injuries and played. I don't think you're soft if you're playing on torn meniscus and sprained LCLs and broken hands and a broken face. I don't think you're soft. If you're playing through all of that, I can't call you soft because I know plenty of
it's not the rebounding.
He gonna come for you. Bet.
It's not the rebounding to me. More as when you got bigs like the Joel and AD when they settle for jump shots and do a whole lot of flopping at the free throw line. That's where I see the softness. It's like when you're 7 foot tall and 290 pounds, get on the block and punish somebody. I think doing that, fading away from the rim instead of attacking strong. Those are soft qualities to me. I think you can be soft and rebound. I mean, especially when you're that big, the ball just gonna come to you. Just put your hand up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. It's more so the inability to attack.
Was Andre Drummond soft?
No,
I don't
Andre
think
Drummond
so.
was not soft. No.
So we talking about the rebounding leaders over the last number of years. So Andre Drummond, let's see, Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Jordan led the league in rebounding. Let's see, was Hassan Whiteside soft?
He was not soft. No, 100% not soft.
These are guys that I'm just thinking about.
Dom was right. Dom was right. If you're leading the league in rebounding, you're not soft. Frankly, if you're top 3 in rebounding every year, you're not soft. Those guys aren't soft.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a lot of times that soft shit is a lot of narrative too.
100%, no doubt.
Can I?
Low down in the house.
Oh my God.
No. Low in the building.
Oh no! Can you tell me who in today's NBA?
Low down in the house. What up, brother?
I can hear you.
I'm about to say, can you tell me who in today's NBA isn't exaggerating contact or flopping? Because I think the flopping is literally a byproduct of just what the game is today. Everybody does it.
DeMontis Sabonis isn't doing it.
Which would explain why guys are getting. They implemented the
Sabonis
technical foul rule for flopping. They're getting rid of it.
They're selling calls, obviously, why they're flopping. But I don't think flopping is as bad as it was years ago. I don't think the flopping's come down.
Back before they tried to.
I don't think selling a call is flopping. I think flopping is when there's no call to be made and you're just jumping over.
100%. Oh, selling a call is 100%. Is 100%
selling the call or flopping.
That's 100%.
I don't think that's flopping. I think that's
my thing is
I think you got fouled. You're showing the ref you got fouled because if you just go straight up, they don't call it. So you got.
But see, that's the difference. If I'm playing, when you're taught to play ball, you're taught to play through contact. That's what you're taught. When you get hit, when you get fouled, you get fouled.
Go up strong.
That's it. You play through contact. Now, if you exaggerate contact, then it's flopping. If I get hit on the arm and I'm a big man or a guard and I can play through that, this is a foul. No matter what, this is a foul. But if I do, that's exaggerating. I got hit, but what the fuck is this? What is my arm doing? That's
because every time they go up strong, the ref doesn't call it because they didn't see the contact.
I get it. I understand.
Fouled and you're not calling it. I'm gonna have to show you.
I'm not complaining about flopping. I understand why players flop. I know why it's normalized, and I know why a lot of the star players do it. I get that. I get why people sell calls. All I'm saying is when we have guys like AD, guys like Embiid, we're calling them soft for exaggerating contact.
Oh boy.
But we having a whole league of players who have normalized that because that's the only way you get calls. I can't call you soft if you legit have an instance of, okay, if I'm playing through contact, I'm not getting calls, so I have to sell it to get calls. I don't think that's soft. That's just abusing the game. That's abusing the rules. That's the rules of the game.
It's soft too. If I'm going this way and somebody touches me, but it's not. But I can go through that. You're supposed to go through it, like you said, Dom. You play through contact. So anytime, like for instance, if I what is it like? If I'm a big man or trying to take a charge or something, like if I barely get touched, if this person is clearly not strong enough to move me, but I'm just doing this anyway, that's a flop. It's a flop. and it's
I guess.
pitiful.
I guess
it's
I just
pitiful,
don't
and
view
it's
flopping
fucking
as a
up the
negative
game.
term. I guess I don't just view it as a negative term, and that's probably where it is.
Yeah, I do 100%.
Yeah, I don't mind calling it a flop, but I don't think it's a bad thing that you have to show the refs you are fouled. If they were doing their jobs correctly, I don't think people would be flopping. But they missed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you could have scored the basket still, but you missed because you're too busy trying to steal the call, and this isn't even basketball anymore. It's just theater at this point.
Yo, Lo, what's good with you,
down
man?
in the house. What up, brother?
what you got on your mind today, man? What's up?
What up, brother? What up, low down?
You just making a Halloween appearance? What's up?
Luka hate, man. He heard the Luka hate. Had to pull.
No, man. Shout out to Harden for standing on business, man. Shout out to James Harden.
Shout out to James Harden.
James Harden, he be standing on business, boy. He be standing on business. He get what he want. By far the most standing on business player I ever seen in my life, boy. It's ridiculous, boy. 4 teams in 5 years. That's impressive. I ain't never seen a player like that at the all-star level. Get traded 4 players and 4 teams in 5 years, man. And he goes to the team that he wants to go to.
That's kind of true.
That's crazy.
That's actually.
I ain't never.
That's motion.
That's just. I don't know, man. He knows the CBA in and out. He knows the rules. He knows when to show up. He knows when to put the fat suit on, when to take it off. He knows, man. He know what he need to do, man. He know when he need to. Man, went to China to told people about Daryl Morey because he knew that was an ops, bro.
That
Like,
was the play.
That was crazy. And then made sure somebody recorded too, and then dropped it on a timeline minutes afterwards. Man, he stand on business, man. I can't even be mad at James Harden no more, man. That's a crazy man. That's crazy.
So
and
in the last 5 years, Lo, he's played with 6 years. He's played with Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Now it's going to be Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook again. Did I leave anybody out?
Still
Joel
hasn't won yet.
Joel
Embiid. Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
That's what he's played with in the last 6 years.
And he wanted to play with every single last one of them too.
Damn.
He's standing on business, man.
He definitely gets what he wants. He definitely.
I mean, yeah, that's a level of that moved him up my all-time list.
Yeah.
What all-time you know that has that type of motion? I don't know. Every time he wants to go somewhere, he goes there.
Exactly.
Don't we like to see these young LA brothers get together in LA? I mean, Kawhi, Paulie, Russ, James, ain't Norman from LA too? A whole bunch of LA cats together in LA.
UCLA, yeah. He went to UCLA. Lo, how does this thing work, Lo, in Los Angeles?
They're gonna be really good offensively. Defensively, they lost a lot of length, which they already were struggling with, but I don't know how they're gonna like. They basically the team that to beat is the Nuggets, and I don't know how they didn't get better at doing that. I don't think they got better at doing that. That's the biggest problem. But they
PJ Tucker versus Jokic minutes.
Okay.
They still got Zubac.
I guess. You just didn't see it last season, I guess.
But yeah, I think offensively they obviously they address a lot of their concerns with ball handling, playmaking, kind of leveraging a lot more things to get the PG and Kawhi quality looks. I think it's going to make a lot of what they do offensively more sophisticated, and I think they have a coach that does that well. However, I just don't like the team to beat is still Denver, and they didn't address any of those concerns at all. And I think that's the problem.
That was my next question to you. So essentially what they did, Lo, from what I'm understanding you, we didn't address our problem. What we did was the stuff that we good at, we're just going to get better at it and see if we can win that way.
Yeah, and to be fair to Ty Lue, he was already running small ball lineups even last year with DeAndre Ayton. He had no PG, no Kawhi, and still ran lineups without Zubac. So he don't mind running small ball lineups. I think that's just who he's been for the better part of the last 2 years. But the problem is that I just think obviously Jokic just isn't like a normal big. So you had to put bodies in around.
He's not even an abnormal big, Lo.
Yeah.
Not only is he not a normal big, he's not even an abnormal big. He's different than that.
You go glazing. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
No, why can't we just respect the dude that's awesome and we can respect other players that are fantastic and also respect the dude that's just better than everybody else? Why can't we do that?
Because I was called a glazer for doing the same thing 10 months ago. So you're a glazer.
Well, who would you? No, there's no way that you glaze him, Mars, if you respect him that this dude is just better than everybody else.
That's exactly what I was calling Glazer for.
And
when they were praising Jokic, early.
That's all I was calling Glazer the whole time.
No, that's not glazing. That's not. This dude is better than everybody else. He just is.
The only concern I really have is just like obviously injuries and defense. Like defensively, they were already kind of have like more dependent on Kawhi and PG, and both of those players are not the same defenders that they once were. Them defending like more motion offense or teams that are just sizable is going to be a bit questionable. I think they still match up well with like Phoenix, for example. Like I think if you're Phoenix, like you did all that this all season for what? And it just got like that's
do a monkey wrench in our whole shit.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. Yeah, if you're Phoenix,
Phoenix now? They match up with Phoenix really.
I think they match up well, and I think they are better than Phoenix. I don't know if you've seen Bradley Beal's back, boy. He's cooked. He's cooked. I don't know what to tell you. He was shooting around yesterday, boy. He looked like me out there. It's crazy.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah, he was out there stiff back and all, bro. You'd have thought
this thing a ridiculous failure?
Did they not know about his back before they traded?
That's what I was about to ask. That was my next question.
Well, sometimes with the back, like extras don't show you the problem. You know,
how did he pass the physical?
Bad back.
I actually have no idea. I don't know how he passed the physical and already missing games.
Is it a muscle thing or what's going on?
And is this something new or is this lingering?
Well, it's not.
This has been lingering for like 2 years now.
I think they just said lower back pain or like back spasm.
That's why. Yeah, that's why he's been missing games. Yeah, that's why he's been missing games. For like
he got the MPJ back. That's tough.
It's tough. It's tough for my boy.
If he gets back surgery, yeah, they're done.
Oh,
yeah, they're done. They're done. But also, I just don't think that Beal is going to be moving like he needs to be. And I think you have both Kawhi and PG to guard KD and Book. Not saying that they're going to shut them down, but they match up really well. But on the flip side, there's no real matchup for Kawhi, PG, and Harden. There just isn't one. Like they don't have the personnel. Okay, you're still okay. Dang, I left and you're still trolling. That's crazy. That's insane to me, boy. You're just still trolling.
So just Cookie's in there for defense and rebounding?
Yeah, he's there for defense, but is he known? He's going to do? That's what he's going to do. He's going to play good enough defense to stop them.
I seen him block Jalen Green shot. I seen it.
Jalen Green is trash.
Oh, whoa!
Super chat.
Whoa!
They good the best player on the team.
Whoa!
Super chat.
No, Mark.
And then, but I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That boy, Philly boy, and they rolling the dice, boy. Jesus Christ, they rolling the dice.
Ox said he cooked you, by the way.
On what?
Give Tyrese Maxey the ball.
Yeah, he was right. Ox was right. Yeah, he was right.
Good
he was right.
Nice
but Philly still kind of cooked, boy. They rolling the dice that Chicago's dumb enough to trade them Zach LaVine. That's basically what they're doing right now. Which if they do that, they're the dumbest. For just a bunch of expiring draft picks.
Those draft picks.
Yeah, for draft picks, he's right. For a bunch of expiring draft picks. Yeah. They got nothing else. They have
those
nothing
two
else.
first rounders they got from the Clippers, and then maybe their own. Maybe three first rounders. And the contracts to match. Yeah, contracts to match.
Maybe if they're lucky, Tobias Harris.
One of the picks they got from the Clippers, two of the picks they got from the Clippers, one is protected, and it might be lottery protected, and the other one is a pick swap.
Yeah,
bro, like these are not like sound decisions.
The 28 one is unprotected.
Yeah, 28 is unprotected.
The Bulls.
I never thought I'd be starting a free Joel campaign.
Yes, big option.
Could y'all please get on board with that free Joel campaign?
Man, I'm telling y'all, they gonna be better than y'all think they gonna be. I promise you.
This is crazy.
I would do Embiid for Fred VanVleet and Pitts.
Embiid for
I
Fred
bet you would, Mars.
I bet you would, Mars. Ain't nobody doing that. Hell no. Click. That's what the phone sound like when you call and ask for that. Get the hell out of here.
You got Sengun, man. You don't need no Embiid. You got Sengun.
No.
How many first round picks does Dallas got?
Nice.
Dallas. I don't think Dallas has that many picks. A lot of teams don't really have that many picks. Yeah. OKC is the team that has all the picks.
It's what? OKC, Brooklyn, and
Brooklyn has a lot of picks. Utah has a lot of picks as well. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have other teams' picks. Houston has a lot of picks. Houston does have a lot of picks. Yeah.
Fred VanVleet is an NBA champ. So is Thomas Bryant.
If we need to throw in Cam Whitmore,
I'll say you can throw in one young player.
Wait. What do you mean throw him in? Like, hey, you can have this too? Are you kidding me, Mars?
If we have to give up Cam Whitmore to get Embiid, reluctantly,
I
might do it.
Cam, get your ass on that first thing smoking.
Cam Whitmore cannot hold a trade up. Of all the people who can't hold a trade up, a Rook can't hold a trade up. He can't. For a league MVP.
Guarantee if the Spurs offered Wemby, for Embiid, they do it. Guarantee.
Of course, 100%.
What do you mean? What do you think about?
Yeah,
The Spurs say, the Spurs call up
100%,
Philly and say,
100%.
Wemby for Embiid. You think that's it? No?
Philly might throw in picks. Philly might throw in picks just to sweeten the deal.
Philly would give them Maxey too.
Man, don't nobody got time for that old shooting ass, man.
What else? Now that I think about it,
15
Mars,
point
Philly will
night,
be like, what else you want?
Exactly. And Cam Whitmore was meant to be the
still.
number 5 pick. So realistically, just as much value as Wemby.
Are we
Right?
really putting?
Just
Are we
technically,
really?
you
Are
think
we
about
really
it.
saying
So-
Cam Whitmore? You trying to sell me Cam Whitmore and Wemby in the same class? Give me a break.
Cam
And
Whitmore
Fred
was meant to be.
VanVleet.
Cam
And Fred
Whitmore was
VanVleet.
projected
And
to go
Fred
number
VanVleet.
5.
Mars, I
Cam
said, wait a
Whitmore was
minute.
projected to go number
You
5.
take years off my life. I promise you do. There's times when you take years
After
off
the
my
NBA
life.
draft, after the NBA draft, what did we all talk about? Who was the seal of the draft? Who
Whitmore.
did we say? Guess why? Because he was meant to be the number 5 pick. He was meant
Nobody's
to go
talking
to
about
Detroit.
Cam Whitmore as arguably the greatest player to ever play basketball, though. Nobody's saying that, Mars.
That was
Hold on.
this is-
This is what I'm
that
talking
was-
Are
about.
they still
Like-
saying it about
like-
Wemby?
Yeah, I was gonna say they still think that. Been trying to tell y'all he not that dude.
Shout out,
That 15 point per game score. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's a
I was
great
saying,
player.
nah.
Shout out to somebody in the chat. I forgot the Knicks also have a lot of draft capital as well. But like it's like a handful of teams that has like a lot of other teams draft capital. Long story short, bro, that process is kind of cooked. It's done.
What do you mean, kind of? He's the only one left from the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done, bro.
He's the only one.
That's done.
He's the only one left.
They had some success.
That is
Just
dumb.
didn't reach the finals. It is what it is.
Yo,
They
so
didn't
can I
reach-
hear
they
from
didn't
you
reach the
guys?
conference finals.
Can I hear from y'all
They lost to
on
the
like
Raptors,
actual
which
trade
is
destinations
Second.
that we
Golden
believe that
State.
Joel can go to?
Golden State.
Bro.
Well, I actually think the Knicks now. Though.
Golden
The
State.
Knicks.
Golden State. They need a big. Get Jonathan Kuminga.
It's
Get
okay.
Fuck
It's,
you, Mars. Hey,
it's
fuck you.
OKC. It's OKC. It's
No, yo,
OKC.
Ron, get him out of here.
Golden
It's
State.
OKC.
If he goes
Joel
OKC,
Embiid,
does he play
Joel
beside
Embiid and
Chet?
Steph Curry
Does he play beside
are
Chet or
friends.
does Chet go?
The Golden State are going to do what they
I'm
can.
be
They're
honest
gonna
with
offer
you.
up Jonathan
Yo,
Kuminga.
Mars,
They're
now
gonna
you
offer up
taking years
Moses
off of
Moody.
my life.
They're going to
What's wrong
offer
with
up
you,
Brandon
man?
Pajimski, Trace Jackson Davis, picks, Andrew Wiggins, bring in
It
Joel
ain't doing
Embiid.
that. It ain't
That's
doing that.
It's OKC. OKC has a draft capital. They have the young players. They have the cap flexibility. They have a lot of things that you would want.
But do you move off Chet? That's the thing, because that's
I
No.
I
I don't
wouldn't.
think
I
so.
wouldn't. But
You
if,
move
if
up
it
Jalen
came,
Williams. That's what
if
you
it
do.
if it can't, yeah, you were more J-Dub. But if it came down to it, I might actually just move off of Chet.
Oh, then yeah.
There's no
Philly
way.
do that.
So
Yeah,
If Philly- if
no,
OKC are willing to offer up Chet, yeah, Philly, do that trade.
There's no
Do that
way. There's no way.
Exponentially.
On that-
I'm saying you wouldn't. But if it came down
Yeah.
to it, I would.
Chet
I would-
has-
I wouldn't even.
So
If
low,
they asked
on
for
that-
Chet, if they asked for Chet, I would just stop all the negotiations.
on that,
If they ask for Chet, I'm throwing him every pick possible. Every pick possible. J-Dub and about 7 of those other guys
so-
you have at the end of the bench that aren't playing that are still prospects. And you'd be like, if you're not taking this, have fun.
Because if you're moving off Embiid, the process is over. So if you're looking at this Oklahoma City roster, who is untouchable on that roster? Who are you saying? No, you cannot.
Shea-
Shea and Chet. It should be Shea and Chet.
One more time, though. Shea and who else?
Giddy's in.
Giddy's. I was gonna say
Giddy's
Giddy's.
touchable. Giddy's touchable.
Giddy-
I think Giddy's
Oh,
to go off what Lowe said. I think Giddy being touchable is the way to
Nice,
the
though.
promised land. If you want to,
Hold on.
I don't think OKC view. I don't think
You
OKC
wanna hold on to
view
him,
Giddy
but
as touchable. I don't think they view it.
You can give up.
Wait,
both-
wait,
you
wait,
can
I
give
think
up
J
both
Dub.
Jalen.
I think J Dub. I think Kayson Wallace, Usman Jang, maybe Pokusevsky. Those
Chet
guys.
has to be. There's no way Philly is doing this if Chet's not part of
Those
this
guys,
deal.
they
They have to do it.
maybe.
Chet has to be a part of this deal. There's no way that they doing
chill.
this without
Giddy,
Chet being
Giddy
a
and
part of it.
J-Dub isn't a bad package.
As good as
With
Giddy,
Hicks,
as good as
That's
Giddy
not- that's
is,
amazing
J
package.
Dub
Hold
for
on.
the league
As
MVP.
Giddy- they're not doing this without Chet. Chet has
Giddy
to
and
be a part
J-Dub
of
are
this deal.
both what under the age of 23. They're both
And none of those dudes are franchise players.
All
None of
of
them.
them.
I'm not giving up Chet.
Great
Chet's
rotation.
not going.
Then
Those
thanks
two
for.
are-
I agree.
It's good to talk to you.
that's-
It's good to talk to you.
Sometimes that's just how it's got to be. 'Cause
That's
Giddy,
how it's gotta be.
J-Dub,
Thanks
and
for
like
talk-
3
good
picks
to talk
gets
to
it
you.
done.
Ox.
100%.
Take care, brother. Because this deal can't happen without Chet. He has to be a part of this deal.
Yeah, well,
I think the Knicks.
If I give you 10 picks,
Long story short,
I'm going to say, why does he
the
have to be a
Thunder-
part of this deal, though?
You're not giving
they
me
got
10
30,
ones,
they
Mars.
got
You're not.
30
You're not
first
doing
round
it.
picks though, Chilton. They got 30.
You're not
they
giving
have
me
like 25 over the next 5 years.
right. They do have that many picks.
So
But
give up 10.
7. Give him 7.
I mean,
7 in both Jalen's. 7 in both Jalen's and Luke Dort. Come on,
You
man.
give
Luke
genuinely,
Jordan.
genuinely five first round. Let's be real, 5 first round picks, both Jalen's, and if it comes down to it, Josh Giddey. You don't think that's enough?
for the league MVP.
Wait, for
the
3
league,
years,
you don't think that's
3 years
enough?
left of Embiid? Like Embiid,
You're never gonna. When I think about it, you're never gonna get enough. What I'm trying to get back.
Yeah, you're not gonna get enough. Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to get back what I'm giving up. I mean, Shaq was traded for Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant, and 2 1s. That's what Shaq was traded for at that time.
That's also a situation with him and Kobe. They weren't getting along. There was other factors.
Even still, it's still Shaq getting traded.
He's about to ask out. He's about to do the same thing. Embiid's about to ask out. Embiid is about to ask out.
And if Embiid asks out, if Rudy Gobert goes for 4 1s, at minimum, Mars. I mean, you said 10 picks.
But that's Danny Ainge.
They have the ability to give up 10.
I need at least 5. And I don't think with the collective bargaining agreement you can't give up. I don't think you can give up more than 5.
3 seconds, or it's like 3
as long as it's not
seconds.
your picks, I think you can. As long as like you can't give up your picks in like back-to-back years or whatever. But they have a bunch of picks from everyone else.
Yeah.
Anything to not give up Chet. They'll offer up as many picks as possible.
I'm gonna say, and it makes sense. Genuinely, you telling me 5 picks, J-Dub and Giddey is not worth the league? What? Well,
5 picks on it. Okay, Dom, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Man.
Those 5 picks, those got to be 1s. I need some 2s too. You got to throw them.
They are 1s. Those 5 picks are 1s.
Okay, so
take as many as
you're not getting 5 number 1s.
Why
are you not getting 5 number 1s?
Absolutely getting 5.
Wait, Jalen, what are you talking about?
I don't know what Jalen's talking about.
Giddey is
absolutely
worth
getting
a first
5
round
1s.
pick to a lot of teams by himself.
That's fine. You
And
can
then
have
J-Dub
Giddey and
5
J-Dub and 5
Man.
first rounders.
That's a lot for what? 3 years of Embiid?
Donovan Mitchell went for 4
Nigga, 3 years of Embiid alongside of Chet and Shea. Man, if you don't shut the hell up, what are you talking about?
OKC is too invested with his young core right now.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. The whole purpose,
opportunity to win now.
no, they're not. The whole purpose of them getting these players is to trade for somebody like Embiid. That's the whole point. They're not that invested.
And the fact that,
Jalen,
Here's the difference, though, Jalen. The difference is
Just
that
say you don't like Embiid.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Cool.
the process of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, him getting better, that's moved up the timeline, right?
Yeah.
So because that's moved up the timeline, now we got to get better now. We don't have 4 or 5 more years to continue to develop. If we can get a guy like Joel Embiid in here now, as opposed to hoping that Jalen develops, hoping that Josh Giddey continues to develop, we got to do it. Now, I'm thinking, Mars kind of threw me off the track with the 10 1s. I'm like, wait a minute, now I got to think about 10 1s. 5 of them got to be 1s.
4 or 5, okay, 4 or 5. Okay,
5 got to be 1s.
So now you get rid of him, but you think Chet and Joel Embiid going to play beside each other then?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
that works. I don't know if that works.
Why does that not work? Wait.
Too much though. Come on, let's cut this
Why
shot.
does
We
that
don't
not
want-
work?
We don't want Joel Embiid playing with OKC. We don't want Joel Embiid playing with the Warriors and all that shit, man. Y'all relax, man.
How about Joel Embiid in
Yeah.
Sacramento? How about that? How you feel about that?
I don't know.
Nah, because we're not giving up Keegan Murray. So fuck out of here.
With his young core.
Can I ask Jalen, why does Embiid and Chet not work as a front court?
No, you're right. Because Joel Embiid can shoot from the perimeter, so
Can Chet.
I don't think it's that reliable. Chet's perimeter shot.
What the fuck? Yeah, so you're
I
not
don't
watching
think
him.
I don't think Chet's
You're not
outside
watching
shot,
him play.
That's reliable.
Okay.
Give it a few more games.
You don't
Give it
think
like
it's
10 years
reliable?
sample size.
It's been reliable since he was in high school.
What's
I'm about to say he's been a shooter.
In college,
shot?
in
college, he was at 39%.
He's shooting 60 fucking 3% on 4 a game right now.
Okay, couple
Even
games.
if that's not sustainable. No, even if that's not sustainable, him dropping is still above league average at worst. Him dropping is above league average.
I could be wrong here because they're both good
Yeah,
defenders.
you are wrong.
Absolutely
I
wrong.
could be wrong here. I could be wrong. You're right. I could be wrong here. I could be wrong.
Jalen, and what's
Giddey and Jalen Williams?
What's more is they can give that up, go get Joel, and still have the assets to go get more, which are obviously if they're in a win now mode, they're going to go grab a couple more vets or just pieces to fill in alongside them. Hey, look, I'm going to put it like this. OKC got a nuke in their back pocket, and when they let that go, everybody better just duck for cover.
I'll be honest with you. I go as far as to say, if I'm OKC and the Chicago's willing to like make a trade that's dumb, I'm willing to trade pieces to Chicago so they don't trade LaVine. Like whatever trade needs to happen so they don't like LaVine just doesn't need to be traded. Nobody needs to be helping Philly right now. Like Philly needs to like.
So you're saying you'll make a trade with Chicago so that it's an undercover deal. Like, hey, look,
don't trade LaVine.
Just don't trade LaVine.
Don't trade LaVine. I'll give you a player.
Keep him here. and we'll just give you a couple first round
Yes.
picks.
Why does the Thunder have any? Why would they care about trying to keep
the same way the Thunder was like, oh, y'all need draft picks to facilitate this trade right now? Oh, say less. We'll help you out. I'll help you out right now. I'll give you draft picks so y'all can get this done, because the only thing that Philly's about to receive is a bunch of expiring contracts from role players. Fine, we'll do that. Hey, when we play Chicago, make sure we lose to Chicago. Chicago need to understand that they believe that they're better than what they are, so they not rush to trade LaVine. Make sure they're good. But I'm trying to make sure Chicago does not make that trade, because if they make the trade and they get LaVine, if Philly gets LaVine, then everything else is kind of out. Embiid isn't leaving. He's staying. So I'm trying to make sure that they get no option at all.
Some sort, right?
Who cares?
It has to be.
Who
I don't know
cares?
if it's tampering.
Did you just see what James Harden just did? I don't care. Don't care. I don't care.
Hey, real quick for my man, Mr. Marquavian Black. I apologize. Donovan Mitchell, he didn't go for 4 ones. He actually went for 5 ones. 25 first round pick, 26 first round pick, 27, 28, and 29. So he didn't go for 3. He went for 5 ones. So.
Yes, I'm pretty.
He's trading five first rounders for without a doubt. Like 5 firsts are going for like without a doubt, actually. So I'm not really concerned about that. It's the young players, and if they say, and to be fair, is also be very mindful that it is Daryl Morey, and he's staying on business on that phone call. So he's gonna be asking for Chet. We can just go in. We can get.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm having a difficult time with. I'm having a difficult time with Morey saying, "Okay, I'll take these picks and I'll take Josh Giddey." Morey is like, "Yo, if Chet's not part of the deal, I'm out."
Yeah,
he knows he's lying.
Wait, so do you do that? Chat at 5 picks. If you're OKC, do you do that?
What?
That's what I'm saying. You do it right away. You're talking about winning now.
Philly, we get Chet in 5 picks.
Does OKC
I keep J-Dub and
and Giddey.
Giddey just isn't. He's having a slow start to the season, so I got to figure out who Giddey really is.
But I'm saying so.
Low.
Right now,
if I'm Philly and we get Chet in 5 picks,
if well, I'm be honest with you, maybe not 5 anymore if you get Chet, but if I get like 3 picks in Chet, I'll probably do that.
Yo, I'm throwing a parade, and it's the process is restarted. That's the name of the parade through the city.
Oh man. But if they somehow get to keep Chet, Embiid, and Shea, oh man, the league is done, man.
Good luck with that.
The league is done for,
we just made up a trade and now we're talking about OKC as title contender.
Right, it's gonna happen for sure.
But long story short, yeah, Philly. I understood what they're doing. I understand what they're trying to do. I just think that's like a crazy risk, and I understand they also didn't have that many options. I just think that is a crazy risk, bro. That is such a crazy risk that I'm actually surprised that they even like thought that would even work out. Fairly disappointed, actually.
Sleeping on Philly right now. They favorites on East, in my opinion.
For what? A favorite for a second round exit?
Just wait.
But even if they get Zach LaVine, I think they still be below Boston and Milwaukee. But
so if Chicago trade DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, where
DeRozan would just go to anywhere because he's a expiring contract. So any team that just needs an expiring contract will pick him up. LaVine, it's position that he's supposed to be going to Philly. That's what it looks like.
And probably
you view DeMar as an expiring contract.
He isn't expiring. He literally that's what.
No, but I mean, like that's the value you put in him. Not he can help a contender for this season. You just view him as his contract's expiring. He'll be off the books. So that's how you view him.
I don't think he'd be traded to a contender from Chicago. I think he'd be traded to somewhere where they just
salary dump.
Yes.
It's nowhere that could use DeMar DeRozan.
No,
Miami. The Miami he could use.
It's not nowhere that they could use him. I'm thinking him being a salary dump, and they end up buying him out, and then he ends up signing somewhere like Miami or something like that.
Hey Mars, I gotta give it to you, man. You're a good content creator, man. I like that out of you, boy. I like that out of you. You really got people convinced that DeRozan is really going to be giving somebody some really good PT in the playoffs. I like that out of you, Mars. I like that out of you, bro.
DeMar is still broke.
Good.
It's less than 18 months to go. It's less than 18 months ago. DeMar DeRozan was an MVP candidate. And now we're saying
to not to me.
And now we're saying
to the NBA. To the NBA. Yep.
That's what we're saying.
Time out. DeMar DeRozan as a third or fourth option on any team is pretty solid. We're not.
That's a lie.
DeMar DeRozan.
That's a lie.
As a third or fourth option
To any team. That's a lie.
Okay, maybe to any team. I say maybe most. Okay, on any team as a fourth option, yes. Any team as a fourth option. Give me a fourth option better than DeMar DeRozan. What's the fourth option?
Low, how you feel about DeMar DeRozan?
Come on now. Give me a fourth option on any team that's better
Aaron
than DeMar
Gordon,
DeRozan.
but that's besides the point.
I would rather have Aaron Gordon than DeMar DeRozan. For that team specifically. Let me be clear.
That team specifically.
That team specifically.
Murray, who do you have? An MPJ? Shoot.
MPJ and then
MPJ versus. I mean, for that team, for their build, I get what you're saying. For the way
for that team specifically, I'd rather have Aaron.
You're good.
Okay.
Even though DeMar over MPJ on most teams, I'll take DeMar over MPJ. I'll take DeMar over MPJ on most teams.
No.
Catch it. Come on. I mean, MPJ is basically a glorified 3 and
long ball shooter.
Yeah, 100%.
And DeMar DeRozan is a glorified regular season scorer. Why would I want him?
Still giving you a solid. Well, he's giving you basically maybe the same as
what does DeMar DeRozan look like?
is about to pass Larry Bird in all-time scoring, man.
No, take it a step further than that. No, Mars, don't stop there. Take it a step further than that, Mars. At the end of this season, he'll be top 5 all time in 2 guards in scoring.
Congrats.
That's the point. They say regular season scorer, and the playoffs he definitely has.
He'll be top 5 all time. Is DeMar DeRozan a Hall of Famer?
No, Jesus Christ.
I think he's a Hall of Famer without a doubt. With those numbers, 100% he's in the Hall of Fame.
No, Jesus, my God, Jesus.
No, they let everyone in the NBA Hall of Fame. I don't
how
think
is he
NBA Hall
not?
of Fame. Everyone's in the NBA Hall of Fame.
What is it?
There is no pro basketball Hall of Fame. There is no pro basketball Hall of Fame.
Basketball Hall of Fame. The guys that are in it.
But what did he do in college?
He only played 1 year. That's it.
Everyone who's above DeMar DeRozan in scoring is either in the Hall of Fame or is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Joe Johnson and Antoine Jameson?
Are they above him?
But they both had 20,000. They're not in there.
That's not what I said.
How much did DeMar have now career?
I don't know.
He's passing them this season.
So you got Larry Bird's Hall of Fame, Chris Paul, Gary Payton, Steph, Clyde, Elgin, Dwayne Wade, Adrian Dantley.
I think he passed his Rex this season.
Robert Parrish in the Hall of Fame?
Robert Parrish is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yeah, Robert Parrish
DeMar gonna get in there.
Allen Iverson, Russ, Ray Allen, James Harden, Patrick Ewing, Artis Gilmore, Jerry West, Reggie Miller, Rick Barry, Alex English, Vince Carter, Kevin Garnett, John Havlicek, Paul Pierce, Tim Duncan, George Gervin, Dominique, Oscar Robertson, Hakeem, KD, Elvin Hayes, Dan Issel, Carmelo Anthony, Shaq, Moses, Dr. J, Wilt, Dirk, MJ, Kobe, number 32 from Utah, Kareem and LeBron. That's everyone above him.
I guess he'll set the new standard then.
He passes Drex before the season is over.
Before his career is done, he'll probably have 23,000 points. If
he's gonna hit 23,000 next year.
Next year,
he
might have
25 by the end of the year.
Which is guaranteed. You got 25,000 career points. That's basic.
Oh, he's going to Hall of Fame for sure.
First ballot.
Joe Johnson's at 52 all time. He's packed up. We don't care about that.
Right.
DeMar DeRozan at 44.
I mean,
and then let's say that DeMar ends up going to like what you said, Jalen. You said Miami. Let's say he goes to Miami and they grab a ring or something, or goes to Milwaukee and they grab a ring or something. He's definitely in the Hall of Fame.
Eric's
there you go. There you go, Lo. Now we talking about something different.
He's 100% in the Hall of Fame.
We talking about an all-time great scorer. We talking about a champion too. That's right, Lo.
Yo, I just see what you did.
An all-time great scorer. We talking about a champion too, Lo.
If that happens, he will be the first ballot. First ballot Hall of Fame.
Lo.
I know we was playing 2K, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
We just sat here and played 2K for 30 minutes, Law.
Even though DeMar DeRozan in 15 years been an All-Pro these many times.
Hey,
that's once every 5 years you're elite.
Hey, chill town. Eric Spoelstra had game.
Remember when he was the number 1 seed in the East?
Eric Spoelstra get everyone playing.
You mean Kyle Lowry?
Not Kyle Lowry. That's the one exception. Kyle Lowry, the one exception that didn't thrive with Spoelstra. I'll give you that.
All right, fellas, check me out. I'm gonna dive into some super chats for these last few minutes that we got on the show.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into it. The Wakandan saying, all right. He said, "Good trade for Philly. Frees up $65 million in cap space for the next summer and gives them assets to use at the trade deadline. Plus, Harden whole ass is gone."
It's not a good trade. That's a terrible. Jesus, okay, whatever.
Just wasting Joel Embiid's life.
Yeah, you're wasting it. Yeah, I don't know why. Trade. You need. Oh man, expiring contracts. Great. All right, bet.
For Mimo said the worst part about the Harden move is that we all know what Mookie is going to do to Harden now. If you know, you know.
The Glaze coming or the hate?
So
Oh,
if
the
the
Glaze.
Clippers win a
Both-
ring
both
this year,
actually,
if the
both
Clippers win a ring this year, and James Harden is at pivotal, maybe the second best player or the best or the third best player.
Would you think he'd be the second best, Morris? Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next. Yeah, we'll talk.
James Harden wins a ring.
Is where does he go on the all-time shooting guard echelon?
I was gonna
of a
say,
championship. As
He'd
a
be better than Iverson at that point.
Hey, you said it on me.
He might be fourth. He might be fourth. I mean,
Oh,
I
what I'm
would say
saying
this,
because
I
the
would
knock on
say
him is
this.
he hasn't won. If he wins,
Yeah.
and he's a key player, 20 and 10 in the finals.
I will say this. This is why I do agree with Ticket, because I don't know how we gonna be ranking players and niggas just be asking out every 18 months. I just don't.
Every
get it.
18 months. But you just gave him credit for standing on business.
Oh, he's standing on business where he want to go though. Wherever he want to go, he gonna do it.
He's moving up for me. I'm just
if he wins a ring, there'll be a lot of people saying he was better than Dwayne Wade. I don't know if I'm going that far.
Oh my
People
God,
already
what's
say-
nobody's gonna say that.
No,
Jeff.
I don't think nobody's gonna say that.
Bro,
Harden
counting
doesn't
numbers,
say that.
counting stats.
The people who already think Harden's better than Dwayne Wade, they don't care about the rings.
Yeah, they don't
So
care.
the ring isn't really going to move them.
No.
And I don't think it's going to change
I think-
anyone who already has Dwayne Wade over.
Yeah.
His counting metrics with the
He
ring.
can't touch Dwayne Wade to me. But that
I hear
fourth
you.
spot,
I'm with you.
it's possible.
D Wade is not touchable.
It's already there for you.
Yeah, D Wade is not touchable. D Wade is not
Is
touchable.
DeMar DeRozan better than Mitch Richmond? Now remember. Mitch Richmond did sneak in the back door and snatch a ring off the table. He did do that.
Oh no, I think that Mitch Richmond is better. I don't know why we even had this conversation. I don't know. Let's please move on.
He did. I just want to make sure we clear on that.
Oh man.
Marquivian Black says, salute to the panel. Respectfully, chill. Is it fair to say AD maxed out? Is it fair to say AD hasn't maxed out due to his lack of playoff appearances, wins, all NBA snubs? Aside from that, what can he do?
Is it fair to say that he had that sounds like double talk?
That he hasn't maxed out due to his lack of playoff appearances, his wins, and his all NBA snubs.
I can't max out, and I was snubbed to being an all NBA performer because I was obviously playing at that level. I just got snubbed. That doesn't mean that I didn't max out what I was trying to do. But to answer your question, the question sounds black and white. Did Anthony Davis max out his potential?
No, without a doubt.
Unfortunately, even if injuries derailed him, unfortunately, even if that's an excuse, you can say no.
I think more so consistency because we've seen the
So
flash.
wait, so when AD came into the NBA,
Right,
2012, when AD came into the NBA,
right.
you're telling me if you got told this is what he would be, you'd say that he didn't reach his max potential?
Come on, man.
What he is now?
What he became at his best, what AD was. Whether you think he's at his best now or you think he was at his best 3 years
I didn't
ago or
think
5
that he
years ago,
was-
whatever. You telling me that isn't better than what you thought he was going to be coming in?
I didn't know what he was going to be coming in, to be honest
Ron.
with you, Miles. There was no expectation from. When I say expectation, I didn't look at him like Olajuwon or Ewing or Shaq or something like that. I thought he'd be. He was the number 1 overall pick. He was young, so I didn't really know what to think of him. But as time went on, and I started seeing him become an All NBA performer, I saw him become a first team All League defender. That expectation did start to rise, and when he got to become I think he was the best power forward in the game at one point. There was a legit conversation that he was the best 4-man in the game. Right?
5 years.
Yeah. I think he was the best 4-man in the game. But injuries derailed him. That's why, in terms of his maximum potential, that's what I'm saying. It's not because of lack of work. I want to put that out there, Mars. It's not because he didn't work or put the work in to become that. The answer is not black and white that he just didn't be. No, there was things that happened that derailed him, like injuries. Now, sure, you could say at the end of the day, he didn't max out because of injury, but he still was awesome.
Ron, real quick, I sent you a video. If you would be so kind, is there any way you can play that video?
Offensively, I think I'm kind of.
I got you, Damo.
I'm a bit disappointed in who AD has become, especially in a league that's a bit more smaller than what he came into the league on. But outside of that, I think he's exceeded expectations.
Based on his
How
rookie,
are you
based on his
disappointed
rookie
based off of
expectations,
his
he's fine.
offensive? How are you disappointed in what he turned into offensively, seeing what he came in the league as an expectation for him coming into the league? How are you disappointed in his offense?
They won the national championships based solely on him playing defense.
100%.
That's why he came in as a
He came in the game as a defender.
He came in as a defender.
Again, so I just said he exceeded my expectations defensively, but offensively in a league that became smaller since he's gotten to the league up until now, yes, he kind of disappoints me.
Wouldn't that be a detriment to him though? Because he's a bigger guy and that skill set. I mean, he wasn't really. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Him growing the way he was growing, he did have a guard skill set. But wouldn't that be a detriment to him? Because those guys, like, he wasn't able to move like that. He wasn't able to do that stuff that they was doing.
No, but I mean, he still can. He has ability to, even at his size, because his skill set, still stay on the floor and adapt to the new NBA while still being 6'10", 6'11". A lot of times he's the biggest player on the floor. So like there's just times where he just doesn't like make simple plays and punish his teammates.
So real quick, Law.
Jeez, that sounded crazy.
Right. So real quick, Law. For you, what do you think his ceiling should have been? What's a legit ceiling for him? I don't mean a player. Just give me some numbers. What do you think?
Oh well, okay. Numbers. I think he's reaching the numbers that he's supposed to. I'm talking about just as a player. Like I don't think like he's as offensively sound from a mid-range jump shot shooter and or a passer, like him being able to make the proper reads. I don't think he's where he needs to be in those regards. But number wise, I think he's more or less reaching 25 to 28 points, being able to grab 12 to 10 to 12 rebounds.
Do you think that's his ceiling? But that's what he's doing. But do you think his ceiling could have been higher than that?
No. I think that's what it is.
Maybe not statistically. What I'm saying is that
as a player,
he's supposed to be a number one option. Remember, look, coming into the league, if we said as a rookie year, if we said this is how AD's career would pan out and he would reach this, we'd be fine with it. But I think it was about his maybe 4th, 5th year in the league. We're like, this is the next phase. This is the next best player in the league. What he was doing in New Orleans, and then when he joined the Lakers, we thought he would be the guy to take that kind of baton from LeBron. Be the best player in the league, win MVPs, be the leader of the team. And with AD, we've seen flashes. We've seen those 10-game stretches where he's giving you 33, 15, best defender in the league. We've seen those flashes. It's just he's never done it for the duration of an entire season. And the playoffs, the inconsistency when he has those 28, 30-point games, and then we'll have a 14, 50-point game right after. The inconsistency to me. It's
the
lies
that niggas decide to just with a straight face.
Can you handle it, Damo?
Bro, you almost convinced me. Niggas just lie to lie about Anthony Davis. That's the craziest shit I heard in my life. Niggas get up here. No, I'm calling a team meeting. We're about to pull a motherfucking Chicago Bulls. I'm calling upper management. We gotta have something happen because there's no way we're about to continue this show. I'm calling corporate. I'm calling both CEOs. I'm calling everybody, the head of every show.
Where HR at?
Even the fucking Bull show. Everybody pulling up. Niggas is not about to just sit here, look in the camera, talk convincingly, and fucking lie no more.
About what?
Jalen, so the years where AD was a tremendous offensive player, where he was averaging the most he averaged, he was still inconsistent in the playoffs. That's what you're telling me.
No, my inconsistency in the playoffs with him were more based on his tenure with the Lakers, where they actually had deep playoffs.
So what the fuck?
Couple relatively
when he was injured.
I mean,
it's just one.
You're only talking about last year.
You're only talking about last year. That's it.
Last year with that.
Because the other time they had a deep postseason.
He was incredible in the playoffs. Yeah. So the injury,
just like I was saying the ticket yesterday. Just like I was saying the ticket yesterday. Y'all bringing up old shit. AD is balling.
Thank you.
AD is balling. When he starts doing whatever you're saying he does, okay, let's speak on it. But as of today, why are we talking about some old shit when AD's in shape, AD is healthy, and AD is giving you 26 and 16, 30 and 15? AD is balling. AD is doing shit like what Hakeem was doing. AD is doing shit like what I'm talking about right now. This so far, AD's showing out. And I know it's been 4 games. I don't care if it was 1 game. If in those 4 games, this is what he's doing, why are we talking about shit that's not happening? Why are we talking about, AD's not being aggressive? AD, we know AD's is inconsistent. Well, right now he's being consistent. Let's speak on that.
Can I ask, has Giannis maxed out his potential? Did he max out? Does anybody think?
From when he came into the league, yes. But where he's at right now as a player, I think he can get better.
Okay, so what? So when he came into the league, he exceeded those expectations. Yes. What about the expectations of a couple years in the league when he was winning most improved player? He can be. So he hasn't fulfilled those either. He had maxed out from there.
two from like 2-3 years ago when he first started winning MVPs, where he's at now. I don't think he's
not even MVP. MIP when he won his first most improved.
Oh no, yeah,
when we first started hearing talk about when Giannis gets a jump shot.
Yeah, when most improved player up until now, I think he's also improved. But do I think?
But he is not maxed out.
I don't think he's maxed out. No.
Okay, you know me. I'm all about consistency. There was no way niggas about to say Giannis maxed out, but AD didn't, based off expectations we placed after the fact. Like, okay.
Damo, I'm gonna play this video for you.
Please.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this.
Nope.
I do not hear this.
Can't hear.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
In college and even in the NBA, the thing that is that he
is defensive.
I go back.
Yeah, y'all can hear this now?
Yeah, we can hear it now.
All right.
From high school to college and even in the NBA, the thing that he's most known for is his defensive ability. That's where he dominates. He dominates in the defensive end, rebounding, blocking shots, changing shots, and offensive rebounding. Now, if you're saying to him now, you got to become this offensive juggernaut, I'm not sure if that's truly like the thing that he does best. The thing that he does best that I've always recognized is his defensive ability in terms of stopping, blocking shots. Even back to when he was in college in their final game at Kentucky, right? I don't think he scored, but he had like 18 rebounds and 5 block kicks. Like, hey, look, I'm not scoring tonight. I said he's a better Marcus Camby when I look at.
Okay.
I wanted that.
Okay.
I wanted that to be played. He said that Marcus Camby. I wanted that to be played. I wanted that to be played for the simple fact of, for whatever reason, because I didn't play, because I am not a professional basketball player. So I had to get a former professional basketball player to say the exact fucking thing I've been saying all summer. I've been saying so far all season. Every time we talk about Anthony Davis. Since my word ain't law, you heard a nigga who's done it at the highest level, Hall of Famer, motherfucking champion. He's done it at the highest level, and he's saying it. So his word should be law based off PC lore. That should be law. That hey, the motherfucker's a defender. That's what he is.
Not just the Hall of Famer. Not just the former basketball player. He's actually a professional analyst. That's what he does today. And for the record, Damo, he said, John Calipari said Anthony Davis came in the locker room, and at halftime of that national championship game, John Calipari said Anthony Davis came in the locker room and said, "You dudes score the rest of the points. I'll block all the shots and get all the rebounds." John Calipari said he didn't give a halftime speech. He said, "Okay, that's what we're doing. Let's go." That was it.
Who he is. I mean, that's who he is in high school. NBA. He was 28 a game with the Pelicans.
I'm about to say if that's who he is,
which is why I think he maxed out. Which is why I think he's maxed out.
So offensively, he's not a top 10 player. Then fine.
I don't know,
because I'm not going to sit here and accept somebody just because we're going to lower the ceiling for him offensively. He is at this point in his career. He has shown way more. By far way more promise offensively than his rookie season. Hell, even in his second year, he was already averaging 21 points. So no, I'm not going to hold. If you want to say literally, when he was 19 years old, when he was entering the league, has he exceed those expectations? Sure. But by his sophomore year, he had already proven enough to me that he could be the lead option on a team offensively. And from where he was at 20 and what he potentially could have been, no, I don't think offensively. I'm
to be a lead option offensively and win a championship.
I do not think that he can be the best player offensively and win a championship. I do not believe
he's
that.
never. I'm about to say. No one should have ever thought that. So I'm trying to figure out. So as a lead option offensively, he's gonna have to get you to the playoffs, right?
But that's our expectation of him.
Hold on, no.
I think that's a silly expectation.
If that's a silly, then I don't know how the Lakers are ever going to win with him. Then
is being a lead option to win a playoff series. He's obviously that, right? He's been that. His offense is good enough to do that, right?
Wait, say it again. No, I'm sorry.
I'm saying his offense is good enough as a lead option to win a playoff series, right?
A playoff series, sure, depending on the matchup.
Okay,
sure.
so
He did that. And he did
he's
that.
done that. So his
Yeah, he's done
offensive ability is good enough to get you to the playoffs. His offensive ability is good enough himself to at least win you a series.
Mm-hmm.
How is he not maxed out? I don't understand. How has he not met the expectations?
Is those are the expectations of a first overall pick?
I'm saying for a guy who's seen as a
to be
defensive
the
guy,
best defensive player in the world and be a good enough offensive player to be a viable option in the playoffs. Yes,
against certain matchups.
You're not looking at him to be the lead option to win a championship, but he's good enough to be a lead option to get to the playoffs and win a series.
Lo, we're not asking this dude.
What?
Lo, we're not asking this dude to come in. Even with the skill set that he has, nobody was asking this dude to come into the league and think that he was going to be Olajuwon. Nobody was thinking that this dude was going to come into the league and be that kind of skill set with that kind of skill set and be that kind of scorer. So the fact that he came in as a defensive player and turned into the offensive player he is, whatever you got, he exceeded it because we didn't know what he was offensively. We had no idea what he was.
That's not what from my I'm gonna say from my expectation of him, because I definitely thought and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but on an offensive standpoint, just knowing AD and the progression as he was as a player, right. Somebody his height and size with the ball handling ability because he had the growth spurt that he had, somebody his size and ability who had the footwork and the mobility because of that growth spurt that he had, someone who had the jump shot because of the growth. Like he was someone who had guard-like skills and had a 7-inch growth spurt with essentially a 2-year span, which then made him have the potential. He didn't completely show it, but I did not think, and I'll say what Marcus Camby comp is a bit excessive because that's crazy, but I definitely did not think that he would be where he's at right now offensively. I thought that, I thought he would be better. I may not have seen in college, but by his second year, he'd already proven to me that he could be.
Yo, Nelly, eat my ass, you bum ass nigga. See me in the space and talk about it, pussy. Stop sitting in the chat.
Oh wow,
interesting.
But how many?
Why did you say it like that? Jesus, why did you say it like that? Why did you say
Ron? I gotta bounce, Ron.
Why do you say that? Talk like that?
I'll see you dudes tomorrow.
All right,
yes,
good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes, low down in the house, my man. Out.
Fellas, I got a couple more super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to open gym.
You got a lot.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. The Tribe One said Jokic and Embiid are MVP level players. Name the last time centers were playing against each other in both their primes at an MVP level. Think on it.
It was the 90s with
David and Hakeem.
Yeah, David Hakeem.
Jokic and Embiid last year.
Outside of them.
Exclusive excellence said Ticket. MJ was in the same situation. Those guards were buns offensively and were mid defensively. Either admit MJ had weak comp or respect today's comp.
Nah, MJ
That's
had
a
weak
fact.
comp. He just made them look
Yeah,
weak.
I was gonna
That's
say,
how good MJ was. MJ just made them look.
I have to
weak.
chill name Clyde Drexler, Dominique. Even though I don't know if Scotty or MJ was guarding Dominique more. I have to go back and see that. But after those two, the names start kind of falling off a little bit.
That's because you don't have knowledge, Jalen.
Okay,
Mitch Richmond. Now.
What? Defensively?
No, just like offensive. He's guarding them. Like I don't think guarding Mitch Richmond is much of a challenge as guarding again Clyde, Dominique. I understand, but guards today, I just think there's more better scoring guards today. So it's just be hard
for sure.
Adam Eden said, "Can we all agree how obvious it is that the new Clipper Stadium will be a level 1 trauma hospital that will just so happen to have a court too?"
Sounds like a fun place to be.
That's good. That's crazy. That's a crazy super chat.
Zen Master said Embiid to Miami for Hero and Bam.
Disgusting.
Terrible.
Wow.
I got a couple for Damo, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Zen Master with another one said Jordan's defensive rating was higher than Pippen's the entire time they spent together, and they played 90% of their minutes together. Explain that, Damo.
It's defensive. It is defensive rating, and if that's what you're gonna rely your hat on, I mean, I could probably find somebody who's not seen as good of a defender that has a high defensive rating than somebody else. I don't care. Devin Booker will still give him 40. So.
I think you can only. I think you can. I might be wrong. You might. I think you can only find lineup data from like 97.
I was about to say, are we talking about the 5 minutes? I was it the 5 minutes that both of them might have been playing off the court with one, like when one was on the court and the other one, and that 5 minute sample size is when Like I don't know.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure lineup data only exists from 97.
But even if Jordan is hired, that literally just means within the small amount of time that they would not be on the floor with one another is when that occurred. That doesn't really give you an answer to,
despite any of that, Devin Booker's still giving that nigga 40, so it don't matter.
Facts.
50.
Tay Luke 777.
Both of y'all are chatting, but okay.
Tay Luke 777 with another super chat for Damo. He said Damo's a casual. Old Jordan held prime Vince to 0 in the fourth quarter and clamped prime Paul Pierce doing the same. Who were bucket getters?
Who's gonna tell them?
Hey Tay Luke. Guess what?
He did hold Vince to struggle.
And Devin Booker is still giving that nigga 40. What are we
talking
about?
Throw in Cam Thomas too, giving him good 35 piece.
Cam giving him 30.
I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
Shea giving him 35.
Y'all are chatting.
All right.
Devin Booker's giving Jordan 40. I think he's giving him life.
Jordan Poole giving him 30. He playing like ass right now. He'll give him 30.
Oh man.
Okay,
Mr. You like what you see out of Wiseman so far?
Oh yeah, those DMPs going crazy.
DMPs going crazy. Oh man.
Y'all open gym next. Y'all be sure to pull up. We gonna be back for the panel same time tomorrow, same place, same crew. Y'all know where to find us. Like the video on the way out.